Good morning!
Good morning, everybody!
It's windy, isn't it?
Very windy this morning.
Yes.
I went outside, there were some pots blown over, but it was driving to work. There's loads of debris, isn't there? Like
There
bits
is.
of twigs and branches that are broken.
But it is
Be careful
warm.
if you're out and about.
Yes, be careful. But it is warm. And actually, next week, I mean, we've got some really nice sunny days coming up.
We've got some lovely sunny days.
But today is a bit windy and blustery outside, so sit and relax and enjoy YGTV with myself, Shaun Bex, and Stu, of course, who does all the technical things. We've got a great show, haven't we?
So many offers for you. So we were just going through them, weren't we?
We were.
We got buy 3 perennials, and they're all in the 9cm pots.
Yeah.
They're all $9.99 for 3.
That's really good. The bulbs, it's a buy 1, get 2 free. But you need to remember, because somebody got the offer wrong the other day, you need to put, we did fix it for you, but you need to put 3 in your basket.
Yeah, three, yeah.
And you'll get two of them free. You can go for 3 of the same, you can go for 3 different ones, you can go 2 of the same one different one, but mix and match, but you have to put 3 in your basket and you'll get 2 of them absolutely free. So that is really good.
And the other deal we've got is on the standards that we've got at the back here. So we've got our holly, we've got the rosemary, we've got the ceanothus, and we've got the viburnum, and it's a mix and match. So you're going to get a pair. It's a double up deal where you get a massive savings. But the point is that you get to choose which 2 you go for. We often bring them to you in pairs, which is lovely. Yeah. But actually, maybe you want 2 different ones. You can do that.
And I tell you what's been really popular, it's the one that I've bought, is the rosemary.
Yeah.
Because it's the number 1. It's the most favourite. Well done, you.
You've got good taste, you see. Good taste.
Do you know what? I didn't have any rosemary in my garden. I thought, why haven't I? It's such a great herb. But to have it as a standard is just so unusual. And you get all the flowers in the summertime as well, and great for the pollinators. But beautiful, smells great, looks great. But that has been the most popular. Right, would you like a free gift?
Yes, please.
Did you say yes, please?
Yes, please.
Great. Oh, I feel like I'm getting ready for panto.
You are, aren't you?
I actually am in pantomime this year. I play, but you're going to find this hard to believe, I play a masculine stud. Right. It's a challenging role. But anyway. But we've got a free gift for you. I've got to behave today.
Amazing.
So we're in a really good mood. So the free gift is a wonderful pack of bulbs called the End of Spring Mix Collection. And what I like about this, I call this a twist on the classics.
Yeah.
And it really is. So you've got Muscari, tulips and narcissi, but each one is slightly different, isn't it, Bex?
Absolutely. And then the shorter mix that we're giving you here. So obviously Muscari is always that lovely ground cover, but this one's called Blue Moon, so you've got that lovely lighter tip up at the top there. The Canaliculatus, these are the daffodils. These are the dinky daffodils, as I like to call them, getting to about 15 centimetres in height. Love the paler yellow surroundings, and then that classic trumpet in the middle.
And you get several flowers per stem.
That's right, yeah absolutely. And then the Saxatilis tulip here, which is, again, another shorter growing one, reaching about 20 centimetres in height.
So just really unusual, say, you'll know Muscari, you'll know tulips, you'll know your daffodils, but these are really quite unusual varieties, just to give you something a little bit different in your garden.
Free. They're normally £6.99, which is a great price actually for that pack of bulbs. Yeah. But normally $6.99. They're free for you as long as you enter that code YGTV4724 when you place your order. That unlocks that free gift, but it also unlocks all of the deals, the buy one, get 2, the savings, all of those things as well.
And then the other thing you need to know is if you spend over £40 today, hey, we have got Christmas trees, by the way, as well, ready to go. They're living, they're potted, they've been grown in the pots for most of their life, and they are phenomenal price today. So we have got Christmas trees, and actually I'm just thinking, because your Christmas trees, that would take you over £40, you get free postage. 2 standards over £40, give you free postage, but try and put together an order that takes you over that threshold, and you will get free postage and packaging. If you spend under £40, I appreciate some of you might be thinking, oh, Shaun Bex, can't spend £40 today, but don't worry, we'll only charge you $6.99 per order if it's under £40. And one final thing, join our club. I nearly called it a VIP club, I don't know why.
I mean, anybody can join, but you're all VIPs.
But you feel like a VIP,
concerned.
yes, you do. You do feel special.
You do.
And if you join our club, you can do it today as you place your first order, potentially, and you will save 10% on all the plants, the compost, the Christmas tree, the pots, anything else that you are purchasing. Really easy to join, and it will give you full instructions as you check out. But it's £5 per year on auto renewal, so it's nothing to pay, but so many benefits as well. Now, Bex and I love it when you are part of the show. We love it, don't we?
Yes, we do. So I've got the iPad here, which allows me to be able to see into the YouTube chat. So good morning to Neil, good morning to Elaine, and good morning to Grimmy. Those are the 3 people in the YouTube chat at the moment. It's going to get busy, obviously. There's loads of people that come in here and talk to us. Any questions you've got, any comments you've got, anything, put it into the chat here and we will read out your comments.
And any compliments, we love that, don't we, Bex?
Always.
Oh, Shaun and Bex says too, you're brilliant. We love comments like that. But on a serious note, no, only joking. But on a serious note, any questions, we would love to help answer those. But also, we love to see your gardens. We love to see your gardening journey. What you've bought from YouGarden, what's growing really well, what looks good right now, or what maybe looked good earlier on in the year. So if you want to send any pictures, you can email us ygtv@yougarden.com. And hello to Penny on Facebook. She sent us some nice photos. Great.
It's lovely to see you all. Thank you. I mean, we've got some emails already. We'll come to those. We'll come to them in a little while. But Keith, who's Keith? Is he He's not Grimmy, is he? Keith. Dingo. I always forget the names.
We were talking about having foggy moments as you get older earlier, weren't we?
Ian's Grimmy, Keith is Dingo. That's it. There we go. I'll get that in my head. So Dingo is saying, morning chaps, my delivery from YouGarden arrived this week. 16 assorted ferns and 5 Jack Frosts. I love those.
Yeah.
And the free gift, all in mint condition, will be potted up and placed around the main pond once this storm blows over. Cheers, Dingo. He actually signed it off, Dingo, as well. If I'd have just kept reading, I'd have got there, wouldn't I?
You would. There you go.
There's his delivery, look.
Oh,
love it.
The ferns are really good value at the moment, aren't
They're
they?
so good.
Really good. Right, we're going to start, though, with the most popular plant this week. And I'm not surprised because this is a pink jasmine, which is stunning, and it's only $9.99, which is a great price. But I think, because we've actually got a very similar jasmine, Bex and I, but ours is the white one.
Yes.
Which is lovely.
And I love it.
Yeah, we love the fact that it's evergreen, we love the fragrance, we love the flowers in summer. But this one is pink, and it is a really pretty pink. And actually, Bex, I think this is the first time we've had the pink one on YGTV.
Yes, it definitely is. I don't remember bringing this before.
No, I don't.
Absolutely. I don't. And it's got all of the same attributes that you would expect to get from a gorgeous jasmine. As Shaun has said, evergreen. I love that with climbers. A lot of climbing plants do tend to be deciduous, don't they?
And a lot look an absolute mess in winter. Most clematis look a sorry sight, don't they? They do.
No, wisterias, it's all bare. Obviously love it, but I want something that's going to keep its foliage, and this one does. But then you get the most beautiful fragrance from these flowers, and the flowers come out in the height of summer, June, July, August, very happily flowering away and providing all of that fragrance. And they're so easy to grow. They're quite slow growing, so if you want something that's going to cover an area quickly, then jasmine maybe isn't the one for you. Or maybe you get something else to grow quickly whilst you're waiting for this one to grow. But I like the fact that it's slow growing for me, to be honest with you. Where I've got it positioned in my tower pot, it's absolutely perfect.
And the leaves are a lovely glossy leaf. Now, what does happen in the winter, a little bit like me, somebody said I was a bit red the other day. When it gets cold, my cheeks go red. I have that noddy look. But I'm in a silly mood today, aren't I? I behave, Shaun. But
we had the Christmas party.
It is. We had the YouGarden Christmas party on Friday night.
We did.
We hit the dance floor, didn't we, Bex?
We were the last on the dance floor as well.
I did my dad moves. Yeah, Bex was quite good, actually.
I was just bouncing about all over the place.
Yeah, I know you're good. I just did the dad moves. But the leaves on this, if it's really cold, I mean, we've had a few chilly nights, they do go on the red side, but it doesn't fall. So the leaves don't fall. The jasmine flowers are stunning. They're the 5-petal flowers. The one thing I will say is it does like a lot of sun. I moved mine last year to a slightly more shaded position, and it just wasn't as happy. I mean, it survived. So if you can put it in a really nice sunny position, it would be very happy. And you have got a £20 saving today for the Trachleospermum. It's an amazing price. I mean, I think when it comes to climbers, there's only a handful that we know that are evergreen, and this is one of them. But the flowers, the fragrance are beautiful, and it is an easy one to grow. Now we are likely to sell out of this today. Half the stock went on our Thursday show, so do bear that in mind. 550223. So a lot of the stock, I should say, has gone on that one. But something else that is going to sell out today, the silver medley planters, half the stock of these has gone. And we've got the pine cone ones coming up as well, but if you'd like these, they're a buy one, get one free, $14.99. So actually, for club members, and I know 45,000 of you are club members, that works out $6.75 each.
Well done.
Yes. We'll pretend that is right.
That is right. No, it is. Well done. I mean, it's an amazing price. And I've got one of our heavy duty pots to hold next to it, because you made this comparison the other day, and it's really good, actually. Very similar sort of size and capacity that we're talking about with the heavy duty planter here, but maybe just a little bit more decorative, which is what we like about this.
I mean, don't get us wrong. We love the heavy duty planters. We use them every time we garden, and we do use them for grow your own. But if you've got maybe a smaller garden, you want to grow some of your own fruit and veg, but you want it to look pretty and to sort of merge in with the rest of your garden, these are going to be absolutely superb. Having said that, I mean, the jasmine would go in there.
The jasmine would go in there.
Obviously, you need to give it a few canes and support.
If you're going for the Christmas tree. Am I going to be able to lift this? Hold on, let me go
do you want me to do it, Bex? Remember, no, hang on, I'll do it because, remember, I am playing a really masculine stud at the pantomime. Yes.
Don't do your back in again.
No, I'm called Pied Piper, and all the women love me. Apparently. But I have to I have to do a bit of sort of like getting into character. So, right, I'll get this for you, Bex. There you go. There you go.
Well done.
There. It is heavy, actually.
Can you put it in the pot?
Yeah, of course I can. I need to do it in 2 steps, you see. But it looks great in here, doesn't it?
If you actually were thinking about going for the Christmas tree, or you've got a Christmas tree at home that you want to put into a pot, that is big enough for it, and we really feel like it's got a bit of a festive feel to it. It'll work all year round, of course, dark pots do, but the fact that it's just got that brushed silver, that actually adds a little bit of festive touch.
I think that looks fantastic, don't you?
I love it. It'll sit a little bit higher than that in the pot, but you can get the idea.
I'll show you where it would probably sit. It'd sit sort of like about there, wouldn't
Perfect.
it? Yeah,
I love it.
I can hold that for a good half hour, Bex.
That's good core exercise right there. Holding your core.
Yeah.
All right, you can put it down.
But jokes apart, that is a really good price for those planters. So useful. They are on what we call rundown. They're clearance.
Yeah.
And don't forget, as long as you use that code YGTV4724, you will get your free bulbs, which are worth $6.99 as well. But you can say buy one, get one free. Yeah. If you do want the Christmas tree, by the way, is on the show today, and it's a living, growing tree. So if you're trying to be a bit more environmentally friendly, if you like your Christmas tree, hopefully for life, that is the one to go for. And it's a Nordmann fir. We do have a Norway spruce, which is like the traditional Christmas tree, but I think it's fair to say in recent years the Norman fir has become far more popular because it's thicker, it's fuller. As a cut tree, it doesn't drop its needles, but I think it looks so much more impressive, don't you?
I do. Love it. Very nice.
Just quickly, so I brought in a piece of from outside of the Norway spruce.
Yeah.
And look, if you actually put the two together, so can't you? Yeah. And these are the traditional Christmas tree is a bit spiky, but the Norman fir, look at the difference. So much fuller, softer, more lush.
Absolutely.
Like that. So if you want to go for it, it's a really good price, $39.99. And the great thing is you could have this for maybe the rest of your life. Yeah?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it grows something like between sort of maybe 10, 20 and 20 centimetres a year, doesn't it?
Really slow growing.
Nice and slow growing. So, the chances are you'll have that in your house for many, many years.
Right. I'll just lift that, Bex. Oh, there you go.
There you go. Right, we do have another pot deal for you, and that is on these are called the Kikis, or the Kiki Ds, as Shaun likes to call them.
So apologies to Kiki D if you're watching, by the way.
Kiki D. But we are on a buy one and get 2 free deal here. So all you have to do is put one of these in your basket, enter the code YGTV4724, the other 2 will appear in your basket for you. Lovely little pot we're talking about here. And I really enjoy these little pots because I've got a few different ones in this similar size. And the reason I like them is I do a lot of container gardening, so I've got various different sizes of pots. These little ones down the bottom creates that lovely tiered effect that you get with planting. But it also means I can change these over so cheaply, It doesn't take loads of compost, it doesn't take loads of plants to change them over, and I can do it on a really regular basis.
And it doesn't take a lot of time. I mean, we could literally fill one of those. And actually, remember, you are getting your free gift today, the Endless Spring Bulb Collection. There's 20 in there. And because they're miniatures, all of those are fairly small flowers, they'd be great at these pots, wouldn't they?
Absolutely lovely. If you're going for the hellebores, it's a pack of 3.
Oh,
you can put your hellebore, 1 each in these as well. I mean, there's so many things, honestly. They're brilliant. Love those.
And it is, remember, a buy one, get 2 absolutely free. Club members, you get it for £8 and 9 pence. Right, just quickly, I need to, I've just reminded myself, I need to buy some more compost, actually.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I've got 1 bag left, but I hate to run out. I really do. So we have got our premium professional compost. It's the best-selling product here at YouGarden. It's the one that we use on the nursery, anything that we grow on. Bare roots, we're beginning to plant bare roots, of course. Last year, I think we planted 150,000 bare root roses, all done in this compost. If you had our ready-made hanging baskets early on in the year, again, all, remember, planted in this compost. If you're buying the Barnsley Baby that's coming up a little bit later on, the Lavatera, again, we grew it from scratch in this compost. So, and we actually do have, I mean, we work on the main nursery, and there's 11 acres of plants, but we do have a second nursery where so much growing is done.
Do you know, I've never been there. We need to do a visit. Have you been over to that one?
A long time ago.
Yeah, I need to do a visit over there because I've never seen it.
Yeah. It's lovely because everything is grown there, and at times it will be like tens of thousands of the same plants. But very quickly, it's all about the formulation on this commercial compost. It has been perfected over many, many years, and we're going to start with. I'm going to guess you're going to start, I think, with the 50% composted wood fibre bags.
Yeah, let's do it. That's what makes it this lovely, open, a light, airy texture. So important for root development and growth. That's why it's been, developed like that.
And we'll tell you more later, but you've also got different types of peat in there. You've got a slow-release fertiliser, you've got a wetting agent, and you've got a pH buffer. It is spectacular. If you haven't used it, if you haven't bought it, read the reviews. The average rating is always between 4.5 and 5
Best
out of 5.
advice is ask the chat. So if you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube, just put a little note in there saying, is that compost any good?
Now, we've also got another...
Go on, do it.
Yeah, go on. And you get loads of comments. Yes, it's the only compost I ever use. It's brilliant. We've also got an amazing deal on our mulch. And I say mulch, this is the most incredible ornamental spruce bark mulch. And I know... Elaine, one of our regulars, has apparently bought another bag of this week.
That's got to be up to like 16 bags now or something. Honestly. Well done, Elaine. And the thing is, Elaine knows what we're talking about when it comes to this, because there's so many reasons to go for it. It's going to give your plants the winter protection that they need in the frosty conditions. It'll help to suppress weeds as well. It looks pretty.
It looks great.
You've used it in your pub garden, haven't you?
Yeah, I used it we've got 2 big planters in the pub garden, like bigger than this potting bench, and yeah, I've used it there just to tidy it all up. I mean, it was really difficult to grow things in the planters because the euonymus there is sort of taken over, and I constantly kept getting weeds, so it instantly looks so much better than the old compost there. And it is great for your pots and containers. It neatens them up. It's great for your beds and borders. It tidies everything up. It suppresses weeds. It gives them, as Bex was saying, that winter duvet. But also, it makes areas a lot easier to tread on. I mean, I live in the country, and sometimes I walk around the borders and my shoes are covered in mud, and then all the mud gets on the patio and it gets everywhere. So that really does have so many uses and advantages. Great for children's play areas, of course, as well.
Yeah.
But it looks nice, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks really neat and beautiful.
Right, hands up at home if you had slug issues this year. I actually didn't, but...
Didn't you?
No.
Because you live in the country.
I live in the country. Where I used to live, they were a nightmare until I discovered this. And it is, again, one of our top-selling products called the Strulch there. And it is... Again, a multi-purpose and beneficial product. But let's start with slugs, because slugs, we need them in the garden, but we don't want them to eat our plants.
Absolutely, and this is designed and made so that we can keep them away from all of those lovely plants that we want to keep happy and healthy without actually hurting or damaging the snails and the slugs, because we want them in our garden.
Yeah.
You know, the whole ecosystem, what we need to provide in our garden is that wonderful whole ecosystem.
You think about those poor hedgehogs.
Exactly, they feed on them, the birds will come and eat. so many reasons to have them in your garden. You just don't want them eating your hostas or the fresh growth coming through on your delphiniums, or it's always that fresh growth they like. And if they get in there early, they can destroy the plant.
Yeah, they can kill it.
This has been made so that they don't like the feel of it, so they won't go near it. So if you spread it around those plants, they'll just slither off somewhere else. They'll go into the neighbour's garden. They'll still be there, but they'll just won't eat your plants. Has all of the same benefits of using a traditional mulch, so weed suppressant, duvet for your plants, helping to retain moisture in the ground as well. But the biggest thing and the biggest reason to go for this is to stop those slugs and snails eating your plants.
And this year was particularly bad in terms of slugs and snails. I even remember seeing the news. They made some of the headlines on the 6 o'clock news because
I had so many snails. It was snails for me. So many snails.
Yeah, and they just say, we don't want to kill them, we don't want to use harmful chemicals, but we don't want them eating our precious plants, and that does a brilliant job. But as Beck said, multi-purpose, so many different uses, and it's active. We say for a good couple of years, it's efficient and effective for a couple of years. After that, you can mix it in, just dig it into your beds and borders, and it's great for improving the texture of your soil. So if you've got maybe heavy soils and things like that, it is great at improving the texture. Okay, I've placed an order this week.
Have you?
Yeah, I am going to place another one.
Oh, I remember you saying this morning you placed an order for loads of these, didn't you?
So I bought 15 of these. So 5 lots of 3, and the reason being, I know that's a lot, but I'm going to have some of them inside.
Yes.
Over Christmas.
Very nice.
Instead of poinsettias, because I kill poinsettias. I don't kill them, I find them a bit annoying. So I brought several to go inside, and then I've got 2 containers at the front, and I'm going to plant them in there.
Perfect.
For Christmas.
Perfect.
Do you know what? I know it sounds extravagant, but the thing is, I know that all of them can be planted in my beds and borders and they'll stay there for many years, but I love this variety. I bought a few last year, Bex, do you remember?
Yeah, and so the reason we like this variety is that they've been bred specifically for a couple of reasons. Loads more flowers. They've been bred for flower power, and you'll be able to see that on the ones that you get.
Yeah,
There'll be bud after bud after bud, and these are, 9cm pots. 12 centimetre pots, apologies. So they're going to get even bigger with more flowers, but they've been bred to be upright as well. A lot of times with hellebores, they tend to nod a little bit, but with the Christmas rose, it stays a bit more upright, which is perfect. Yeah. That's what we want.
And we love, I've just turned this around so you can see the different stages of the flowers. They are amazing. So they tend to come out bright white, like snowy white. And then as they age, look how beautiful. So that one's just going over. So you're starting to get the greens. Can you see a little bit of pink in there as well?
Yeah, it does. It gives these lovely blush pink tones to it. It's got kind of a shabby chic look, hasn't it, is how we describe it.
Just beautiful. And they are big plants. And again, I'll be honest, I went in a supermarket the other day, quite a budget supermarket. They had hellebores, and their hellebores were, I think, $5.99 each.
Yep.
But you know what? They were in 9 centimetre pots. They weren't covered in buds. And they weren't this variety. So this is an exceptional variety, and they will flower all winter long in spring. They don't die back, they go a bit dormant in summer, but then they get big and stronger every year. I know Christian has asked us a question on Facebook. Christian, we need to know what type of tree it is. I think she's got a question about pruning, so let us know, and then we can sort that out for you.
Absolutely.
Right. George, good morning.
Grimmy's in there as well. Hello to you all. Thank you for joining us on this blustery morning. It's certainly very blustery here in Lincolnshire. Let us know. We always like to know the weather report as well.
We do.
Let us know what it's like for you.
Don't worry, there are some. It actually is quite warm again next week. So if you've got,
it's quite warm today, even though it's so windy. It's really warm.
16 degrees.
I've turned the heating off in here because it's so warm.
But it has been a bit blustery. There's some better weather coming up, and everything's thawing now. If you had sort of like snow and things, so in terms of planting bulbs, you've got plenty of time.
Yeah,
big audience. I think we've got loads of you watching, just because obviously it's not very nice outside, but we have got some amazing deals. Don't forget. And just quick reminder: with every single order, you get a free gift as long as you use the code YGTV4724. Also, that unlocks all the promotions and. Our promotions on YGTV are amazing. Please tell your friends. If you've got friends that are into gardening or just getting into gardening, please tell them about our show, because we get, and we've been honest, we get staff discount so many times, and we get really good staff discount. Really good. But so many times it still works out better to use the YGTV code. You can't use both, you see.
Honestly, I have barely used. I can't even remember the last time I used the staff discount code because every time I place an order, the YGTV code is way better.
And using that code gives you a far better price on our website and all of our other platforms, generally speaking. Yeah. So it really is good to order from us. And we're not just saying that, you'll know if you're regular. Right, we better move on because Bex has got a little favourite now.
Oh, I love this one.
Oh, you see.
And you love this one as well. This is why it's on the favourite table. I'm really, really pleased. The Eringium, the Blue Hobbit. This is a slightly shorter variety. There's another variety that gets really tall, and that's beautiful. Really, really nice. But this is the Hobbit. This is the smaller one. I've got this in my garden, and I love it. That is mine, and that is it. I mean, that's just when it's starting to go over because you can see down the bottom. Look, it's just going a little bit brown, but look how blue that is.
It's incredible blue, isn't it?
It's so bright. It's so vivid, and that's it as a young plant. That's a baby plant. Okay, so I mean, it's not very well established yet. It will form clumps. It will spread by about 50 centimetres. You'll get multiple flower spikes going on there. I can't wait to see how that develops over the years. And you are getting 3 of them today. They genuinely turn that blue.
Now, a lot of people call this sea holly because they actually do really well by the seaside as well, don't they?
Yeah, really good.
So if you're lucky enough to live by the coast or an exposed area, then they'll be absolutely fine. And actually, they do make wonderful dried flowers. I've actually bought them as a cut flower before and then let them dry, and they look fantastic, and they last many, many months as a dried flower as well. But from the thistle family, aren't they? Related to the thistle family, they're slightly spiky.
They're slightly spiky, but not too bad at all.
Oh no!
And what I really enjoy is the sort of the contrast that you get in your garden with these. They're a bit weird. They're a bit wonderful. You know, they're a bit unusual. But then if you plant this next to your geums or something that's more soft and floral, you get this beautiful contrast that happens, and it's just amazing. It turns that colour. I
agree. And you can actually, you can actually make them look really modern.
Yeah.
Or you can actually have them looking really traditional in a country cottage garden. I don't know why I haven't got those. They look amazing.
No, they're brilliant.
I'm still putting together my second order this week. Now, one of my favourite plants in the last sort of like 2 or 3 years, hardy geraniums. I've just really fallen in love with them. And our head gardener, Peter McDermott, he's got a lovely garden, but he's used a lot of hardy geraniums for his planting scheme. And I can honestly say, in terms of what hardy geraniums give and what they need, it's just amazing because they are so robust. They'll pretty much survive in all soil types, sun, part shade. They flower. I mean, we've got various varieties, Bex and I, but generally speaking, they flower from May all the way through to the frost. So this year was like November, wasn't it?
Oh, literally just last week when we got those frosts that happened. That's how long mine kept going for, that geranium Roseanne. But it's the same for all geraniums. I don't have this variety, but I know how good this is because hardy geraniums just are incredible, aren't they? The colour is amazing. I've got lots of purple in my garden already. That's probably why. But this is an amazing colour that lasts for ages, and you barely have to do anything with it. You should deadhead your geraniums, your hardy geraniums. You definitely should.
Did we?
No. You should feed them.
Did we? No, we didn't, honestly.
They're so good. I mean, they don't need all that attention.
And I know you might be sitting home going, oh, well, they're no good at gardening. It's just like, there's only so many hours you've got. And I look after 3 gardens, and my garden, like, it's a few acres now, so it's big. So if I've got an area where I can just leave it and get on with the things that need a bit more care and attention, then obviously that's what you do.
But I think everybody needs those certain areas in their garden that they just don't have to think about. And if you plant any hardy geranium, and this is a fantastic one for its colour and flowering ability, you will not have to pay any attention to it other than to obviously admire it.
And please don't confuse them with the bedding geraniums. We have lots of different geraniums that are for summer bedding that are not winter hardy, that would need protection. These are fully winter hardy, and that means they're also backed by our lifetime guarantee. So any plant that we bring you that is winter hardy, there's a little snowflake symbol when you actually look at the individual products. If they've got that symbol, it means winter hardy, and it also means they come with a lifetime guarantee. So if any of those died, we'd actually replace them for free. All you'd pay is the postage.
Amazing.
But they are really hard to actually kill, aren't they? Yeah.
Really hard.
They really are. Just what I would say, in their first kind of year or two as they're establishing, just make sure they don't dry out. Only when they're establishing. Once established, they're actually very drought tolerant.
Don't have to worry about them at all.
Right, now we've got a newbie that we both love, don't we?
This one's got promoted onto the favourites
Promoted?
table. It's been promoted. I think it's a beautiful plant, honestly. So, first of all, it's £7.99.
For
Check
that?
out the size of it. It comes to you in the 2-litre pot, and that is just £7.99 or £7.19 if you are in the club.
Wow.
So, price, first of all. But who cares if it's a good price if you don't like it? There are so many reasons to like this. So many. The range of foliage colour that you get from this through the seasons is absolutely phenomenal. It's a bit mind-blowing. In spring, you get bright sort of yellows and green colours that intensify through the summer. And then in autumn, you get these kinds of colours, the oranges, the reds, the kind of variegation on there as well. Plus, you're getting flowers on there in summer too. So it's a win-win, isn't it? Yeah. Semi-evergreen. So what I would suggest is plant it somewhere a little bit sheltered, because then hopefully you will help to keep hold of a lot of those leaves over the winter time. But something to look at most of the year round, and with that foliage colour, like you can see where the kaleidoscope name comes from.
And we both love Nandinas. I know many of our regulars watching right now, you've got things like the Nandina Firepower in your garden, or the Obsessed, that was another popular one. But to me, this kind of sits amongst those. But I think it's fair to say even more colour in the foliage.
Yeah.
Amazing. I actually thought, I was said to Bex last week, I thought, there's got to be a catch for this. I was thinking, does it need acid soil? Is it only semi-hardy? But not at all.
Not at all, no. I mean, it'll cope in a part shady position. You'll get the best colour if you plant it in a full sun position. But if a part shady position is the space you've got for it, it will be fine there. It's completely winter hardy, so backed by our lifetime guarantee as well.
But it's big. I mean, look at it. That's already really mature and well established.
Yeah.
And that, to me...
In our premium professional compost as well, by the way. I can see that in there.
That in a pot is going to be perfect straight away. Who's ordered the Christmas tree?
Glyn. Hello, Glyn. Well
right,
done.
how's it look, Glyn?
I'm tempted this year.
I'm going to buy that one. I'll be honest, I've got 2 Christmas trees going in pots. I've got them in heavy-duty pots. But I've got the Norway spruce.
Yeah. Oh, you need the Nordman fir.
I know.
Definitely. Oh, apparently Glyn's telling us about his slug issues. Hang on.
We want to know about your slug issues. We want to know.
I want to know.
So if you like the Abelia, it's a Grandiflora Kaleidoscope, 2-litre pot, brand new this week, and it is only $7.99. Normally $14.99. Right.
He says...
Go on, let's hear this one.
He says, my slugs are ninja slugs. They laugh at copper tape.
It's been really challenging. Slugs made the news this year because they've been so problematic in many gardens and with many crops as well. Has he tried Strosh?
He hasn't said, but I'm assuming so. If not, give it a try, Glyn, honestly. Loads of people will recommend it.
Now, we're going to move on to the Sarcococca next, the winter gem. And this is the deal of the week. This is the most extraordinary plant that you can imagine. There are so many pluses with this. First of all, totally evergreen, so it looks great all year round. It will survive in the shadiest of places, which I think is incredible. So, yeah, you can put it in a sunny position, but you can actually put it in pretty much full shade and it survives. But, Bex, the flowers and the fragrance, that's where it comes into its own, doesn't it?
It's absolutely, it's such a... It's a very sweet fragrance. That's why it's called Christmas box or chocolate box. It's a sweet vanilla-y fragrance that you get from it. And to flower and have that strong a fragrance in wintertime, I just think is amazing, isn't it? That's mine last year. That's the colour of the flowers that they will turn. They flower along the stem as well. So each flower is quite small, but you get loads of them, which makes them quite significant. But honestly, that fragrance just floats on the breeze. And it's there right the way from... I mean, it's budding up now, from December time you start getting that fragrance and it goes through January, February and into March as well. Pollinators adore it, and so much so the Royal Horticultural Society have given it their badge of perfect for pollinators. It can be in, if you said this already, full shade, it doesn't matter. Full sun, part shade, full shade, doesn't care.
Yeah, and I think when we think of shady plants, we all think of ferns and hostas, don't we? They're the two that come to our minds first of all. But yes, this can tolerate pretty much full shade. They are slow growing. I've got one of these, and they only grow, a few centimetres a year, so they're never going to take over. But they are extraordinary. So if you've got a really awkward, shady area, but you want it to be filled with fragrance in the wintertime, this is definitely the plant to go for. So Sarcococca, Winter Gem, Sweet Box, Christmas Box, lots of names for this one, but it's an absolute beauty. And actually, Adam Woolcott is one of our other garden experts. Him and his partner John, they're commercial gardeners. They design gardens, and they often use the Sarcococca in their planting schemes for any difficult shady area. And that is 510 563 999. And actually, I know a friend of mine, Lynn. I don't know if Lynn is watching. But
Morning, Lynn.
Morning, Lynn. She does sometimes watch. Yeah, I think she watches. Yeah, she watches at least once a week, but she doesn't always watch both shows. But Lynn gave me a couple of branches of Sarcococca a few years ago. She's really good at floristry, and there's a couple of branches in this lovely display she did. And honestly, the fragrance filled the kitchen. It's lovely.
It's really beautiful.
Really is. Right, we have got some amazing deals on our pots. Glyn's just said, sorry, we're digressing. Glyn's just said he has got Strolch, and it's the only thing that stops the slugs.
Oh, and his Christmas tree is going in a half-barrel planter. Yeah, they work really nicely. Actually, Neil put a question in the comments about, could Strolch go on top of the bark mulch? And I would say yes. You're going to have to put quite a thick layer because just the nature of the bark mulch, but yes, absolutely.
Of course, why not?
It can go around. If you're putting bark mulch down, great, and then put the Strolch around the top over it. Yeah, it should be absolutely fine. Yes. Sorry, I did see that. I forgot to say it. Right.
The planters are going to sell out. These are incredible in terms of value and price. You get two. It's a buy one, get one free for $14.99. For all of you club members, you'll get them for $13.49. And actually, these are built to last. Bex and I, we love our pots and containers here at YouGarden. We both, although I've got a slightly bigger garden than Bex, I still love doing containers as well.
Yeah,
I do.
It's nice, isn't it? Because I always think of that your borders are the permanents.
Yeah,
those are the things that are there all the time. Hopefully, fingers crossed. But your pots are the things that you can move around and you can change over and you can put your seasonal displays in. That's the way I think about it.
And also, if you're lucky enough to have a greenhouse or potting shed, when it's a really bad day and you can't get out in the garden, it's just so great to go in the greenhouse or the potting shed and actually put your pots together. It's nice.
Yeah,
that's what I do. I always, I always tend to do my baskets and pots in the greenhouse on a bad day. But I love the design of these. I think they look fabulous, don't they?
They're lovely, aren't they?
Really nice.
I think it's almost like a sort of fleur-de-lis design.
A lot of detail, isn't there?
Lovely brushed silver colour to that as well. Love dark pots. Dark pots really, I think, they work for the majority of plants. They really do help to make things stand out.
Do you know what I like about them? I have learnt the hard way because I bought lots of white pots one year. And do you know what? They look fantastic in the summer, but in the winter, they're constantly dirty.
And that drives you mad, doesn't it?
It does a bit. So anyway, they're going to sell out. They're not coming back. So if they go, I might go for those. We've only got enough for about 15 orders on those, 130129. And then we have got the really cute little Kiki pots, and these are great. We think these are just great for, in fact, you said, Bex, let me just get one. A hellebore in there would be perfect, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah, the hellebores are a pack of 3, and this is a buy one, get 2 free. So, a triple pack of something, this is going to work beautifully. We've got lots of triple packs of things, actually.
Should we just do that? There you go.
So if you wanted, a temporary home for some of the triple packs of things, then that's going to really work
I'm just going to plant one up now.
That's going to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's going to look perfect in there. Great size, certainly for the first year, absolutely. I love the design on these, and I really like the fact that they are the size they are, because it does mean that if you are looking to do seasonal displays, you can change them over really easily. You can have your hellebore in there over the festive period, and then when it comes to springtime, you can change it over to something else. In summer, you can change it over, and it's not going to cost you a fortune to do. It looks like terracotta. It's what we call terra nota, because it is not. It's not going to break. It's kind of malleable, but that means it's not going to crack and break. They're UV stabilized. They're frost resistant. If I didn't even just drop it, I threw it. Did you see that? Sorry. But look, it's not cracked, it's not broken. If that was a terracotta pot, obviously I'd be picking the pieces up now. So this is brilliant. This is why we love these plastic pots. And I'm changing over gradually, I am doing it. I've got a few old terracotta stone pots. As they crack and break, I'm replacing them with these.
Do you know what I've done?
You have bark dusted it.
I have bark dusted it, only because I've got like a half bag of bark left in the greenhouse. But that, to me, what a lovely little winter display.
Love that.
Yeah.
Really
and
nice.
that took a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
So if you're getting, I'm just working out the math. So the heliballs are £16.99, I'll say £17. The pots are £9, so £26. And you've got 3 stunning displays there. And you get your free bulbs. I mean, I could have planted a few little bulbs around there as well.
Yeah, you could, absolutely.
Really good.
Pop up.
So I think I'll keep that one. No, not keep it. Sorry, I mean, as in, I'm not going to take it apart.
No, leave it here.
Don't worry, yes, that's staying here.
Right, if you do
I've ordered 15 of the heliballs this week, haven't I? I've got enough of those.
If you do want to get ahead and have a little look at what we've got available for you, what we've selected for you for the shows this week, then do go to the website, YouGarden.com. You're looking for the Live Now button. It's either at the top of the screen or at the bottom of the screen. Tends to be if you're on your phone or something. That's a nice still there. Look,
that is nice, it is.
No, some of them are a bit weird, but we're both.
We actually look okay on that one, don't we? Yes.
Scroll down and you'll be able to see all of the things that we have got selected for you.
Yeah, and there's still loads to come. We've got echinacea, we've got the red hot poker, the primulas.
Aster, the Fricatio monk, that one. It was a toss-up between a couple of items whether that was going to go on the favourites table or not. So that one's been really popular.
And then you just saw the Lavatima Barnsley Baby New. We've just got your pictures. These are all the bulbs coming up, by the way. So we've got the Spherocephalon alliums, we've got the rock garden tulips, we've got crocus, we've got narcissi tete-a-tete. And don't forget, the standards are a double-up deal, so you can mix and match, get a second one for £10 basically. And the rosemary has been really popular. So Stu's been putting a basket together, a big basket.
Look at this basket. Yeah, but oh my word, check out the savings already. Stu's put the code in already, so you can see all of the freebies that are coming up here, all of the savings. C&O standard for £25 because he's put another standard in, that's why.
Yeah.
Free. No, £9.99 for one bag.
Yeah, because you get the other two free.
The other 2 free, that's it, yeah. That's a great basket.
That's a huge amount to get, isn't it?
Well, look over on the right there. So we've got the order total is £98.95, but look at the saving. There's a £110 saving there. Now, if we join the club, which is going to cost just £5 for the full 12 months, just one £5 cost. We've now brought that price down. Look, saving £14.90.
Wow. So it is, it is always worth joining the club if you're not a member. And by the way, your club discount is always valid, even if other things are on promotion.
Yeah.
So don't worry, don't think, if something's on promotion, discount, if it's a buy one, get one free, will I get my club discount? You will. So do join the club today. You'll also get £20 worth of vouchers when you join the club. So if you join the club today, you'll receive £20 worth of vouchers, and it's almost like getting £20 worth of cash back. So do join the club, and I'll tell you what would be nice today. In the group chat, let us know about your experience of the club. What do you think about being a club member? We'd love some comments on that, wouldn't we, Bex?
Yes,
we
would.
So any of our club members, I know there's about 45,000 of you, just put a few comments on the group chat, or you can email us, ygtv@yougarden.com. We would love to hear from you. So we're going to move on to bulbs. Bex and I keep getting questions. Is it okay to plant bulbs now? The answer to that question is a resounding yes! It seriously is. Best months, I think, to plant bulbs, October and November. In fact, when it comes to certain bulbs, like tulips, a lot of people in the gardening world say wait till November for tulips, because you have to wait till the ground cools down.
I do.
Yeah, I always wait.
Unfortunately, I've done it in the past where I've just planted them along with everything else, and I might have done it early in September, and then they just haven't all come up. So I definitely wait to plant my tulips. In fact, I'm waiting to do everything now, but especially this year because it's been such a mild year.
So it's a brilliant month, honestly.
Yeah.
It really is. I have planted bulbs in December before, and they've still come up and been fine. I have planted them as late as the end of January, and I'll be honest, it was too late, and half of them came up and they were without flowers and didn't look that great. But November is actually a brilliant month for bulb planting. And what we're doing Because it is, I'm saying it's a brilliant month. It is, but we don't want lots of bulbs left in December. We don't, as a working nursery. So we're doing today a phenomenal promotion of buy one and get two free. Now, I planted the whole pub garden that I look after with bulbs from YouGarden, and I got mine on the week where it was a buy one, get one free. Very happy with that. But because you wait a little bit, it's a buy one, get two free. And even if you've already got bulbs, you can never have enough bulbs, can you?
No, you can always find
really
space.
can't.
I have actually still got a couple of bags left to plant out. I haven't done my dinky daffodils yet. But yeah, there's still time, and you can always find a little bit of space for some bulbs.
And I should say, even if you're buying the bulbs today,
you'll still
get your free bulbs as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as you use the code.
Yeah.
Put the code in, that's going to put that free gift into your basket.
So those are your free bulbs, 20 of them with every order, including our bulbs. Right, the best sellers, and I'm really pleased about this, the crocus. So look, there you go. So what we've done... Hang on.
So many freebies. Look at that. Hang on. So we put one bag of bulbs in. Narcissus tete-a-tete. We're paying for those £9.99. Brilliant. We've put the code in, which means we're getting the rock garden tulip and the crocus free of charge. But again, because of the code, we're also getting another free gift with the bag of bulbs.
So
let's remove the code and see what happens.
Yeah.
£26.97.
Yeah.
Look at that.
And that's bulbs.
And you haven't got that free bag.
And what I would say, because when you put the code in, obviously you get all the freebies and you get an incredible price, but that $16.98, that includes your postage of $6.99. What I would do on a situation like that, I would put in some compost, because you're going to need some compost, of course you are. And if you add that should take your order to over £40. Great reviews, 707 of them. So get your compost. Oh, we're slightly under still, aren't we?
It's because the subtotal, that's the problem.
Oh, of course.
Need another £6.
I'll tell you what then, let's go for the Kiki planters.
Will that do it?
Yeah, $8.99. That'll do it. Let's go for the Kiki planters, because they'd be lovely for some of these bulbs.
They would, actually.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
So again, that is a buy one, get two free.
There we go.
And there you go. Now you've got free postage, and you're saving £63. And then suddenly, look, I mean, for £43 and 96 premium compost, 100 litres, 3 of those lovely Kiki pots, and then so many bulbs.
So many bulbs. And we can save another £1.40 there as well, because you can join the club. You're saving on that order of £6.40. You'll spend £5 to join the club, so you'll still be saving £1.40 on that order.
So
Might as well.
Might as well.
Might as well.
I mean, we're already club members, Bex.
Yeah, I can't do it again.
Do you know, just thinking, we absolutely love working for YouGarden. We really do, because it's such a great company with fantastic products, fantastic prices, great customer service as well. I met Julie. Did you meet Julie at the Christmas party?
No, I didn't. I met the lady that does the finance and pays us.
Oh,
so I
really?
was very nice to her.
Oh, I wish I'd met them.
Yeah, she was on my table.
Oh, really?
She was like, I know you. I was like, oh.
Oh, you should have asked, yeah. Well, I got to meet Julie, who heads up customer services. She's an incredible lady, but we are very proud of our customer services. And if anything is ever wrong with an order, and you've got to imagine, we dispatch millions of orders a year, so occasionally they may be a problem. It is very occasional, but we would much prefer you to tell us and for us to put it right. We will do our very best to put it right, always. So do bear that in mind. Right, let's begin. Crocus.
Yes.
So last year you planted a lot of crocus, didn't you?
I did.
Actually, we both did, didn't we?
Planted loads and loads of crocus. Now, my own experience is I'll wait and see what comes up this year, but I've got really thick, heavy clay soil, and I don't think the crocus bulbs like them too much, like that soil too much. So what I have done this year, I have planted some more crocus, but I'm keeping them in pots. I've got them in the nice little small pots because I know they're going to come up that way. I planted them as drifts through the lawn, which is perfect. You can do that because these are so early flowering. Often February time, these are coming up out the ground, aren't they? We're not mowing the lawn at that time. There can be snow, there can be frost on the ground, and the crocus will still brave their heads. You get the mix of colours in here as well, the yellows, the purples, and they just work so well together. The colour combination is ideal.
Gee, I've got a smile on my face just looking at those. And I always think February is actually one of the worst months sometimes. It's bitterly cold sometimes in February, isn't it?
Yeah, January and February are the worst.
They are,
Hate them.
and you need things to give you a lift. And when you see the crocus just burst through those frosts in February, it does. You realise that spring is round the corner. Summer is on its way. They are joyful. And I just think they look great. Pots, containers, beds, borders, grass, within lawns and things. Also under trees and shrubs. Brilliant. Now, we have now got our Sphaerocephalons, alliums. These are in number 2 position in terms of popularity.
And we're sort of going towards, we're going more towards the summertime here as far as planting. So this is right at the end of winter, early spring. This is right in the height of summer. These are going to come up for you. So July and into August. Mine didn't start coming up until August this year. And these are nice and tall, slender stems, but strong, so they stay nice and upright. But these are called the drumsticks because they do look a little bit like those drumsticks at the end. Pollinators adore them. They've got the Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit. They've got the badge of perfect for pollinators as well. They will naturalise. They will come back year after year. Please don't plant them individually. They will look weird. That's why you get 100 of these, because you want to plant these in clumps. If you've been watching for a while, you'll know I've seen on somebody's Instagram page they've planted this in amongst grasses, and that is I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of other combinations, but that is a really good combo. If you've got grasses, plant a few of those in amongst, it'll look really good.
And I will be honest, the only thing that I always say about alliums, because the flowers are spectacular, and as Beck says, you get the height with these, the stems are always really strong. You're going to get 100 of these. I mean, if you want to plant en masse, you could go for 3 bags of these and get 300, but chances are you probably want to mix with other things. But the leaves on alliums sometimes are a little bit straggly. They sort of start to die down as they flower. So as Bex was saying, underplanting alliums really works well. So remember, buy one, get 2 free, but you've got to put 3 in your basket.
Whichever one you want.
Yeah, 3 different ones, 3 of the same. 2 of one, 1 of another, but you need to put 3 in your basket. Right, so you're loving the crocus, you are adoring the alliums, but I've gone mad this year for tete-a-tetes.
Yeah, well, so I'm planting the dinky daffodils. I've got the mixed bags, with all the varieties of the dinky daffodils, but the tete-a-tetes are going to be in there as well. I can't wait. Have no daffodils in my garden, but next year I will have lots of them.
You'll have hundreds.
So it's a bag of 25 of these, tete-a-tete, head-to-head, but you said it was a different meaning the other day.
So literally it does mean head-to-head, but actually in French, the true meaning is intimate conversation.
Intimate conversation,
you've heard that, let's have a head-to-head.
Tete-a-tete, yeah.
Tete-a-tete, head-to-head. And it's only because all the little flowers are kind of all close together, looking at each other in different directions, having those little conversations.
Well, you get multiple flowers per stem here as well, so you can get up to 4 flowers, can't you, per stem, which is great. So you get loads and loads of flowers here, and they only get to about 15 or 20 centimetres in height. This is why I'm a big fan of the dinky daffodils. Yeah, the tall ones are great for certain places, love it, but the little ones, you can plant them in lots of other places.
I think the full-size daffodils work great in your borders. But I do think the tete-a-tetes are far better in containers and hanging baskets.
Yeah.
Unless you've got really big pots, the balance and the height ratio just works so well. I've put them in all my mum's hanging baskets. I've done. Oh, do you remember, Stu, when we planted the pub up? I mean, I put loads in the containers at the pub.
Did you? It's going to look good.
If the customers in March aren't going like, oh, wow, that Shaun actually is a good gardener. But they're going to look great. Fingers crossed they should do.
Yeah, they should do, absolutely. It's a bag of 25 of these, so if you just want 75 Narcissus tete-a-tete, put 3 bags into your bulb.
Oh, there they were. So I did them with miniature tulips.
Very good.
Yeah.
But they're so easy to do, aren't they?
I did all big... I did all 5 containers in an hour or so. One thing we will say is that our bulb quality is incredible. You're not going to find squishy bulbs in our packets. A lot of people, a lot of my friends have said, oh, I bought bulbs from so-and-so, and quite a few of them were squishy. If they're squishy, they're just going to rot.
They're going to rot. They won't all of a sudden firm up and
so
give you a flower.
So don't even bother planting the squishy ones. But ours are really, really firm. And actually, they're really good size as well. Yeah. All the instructions on the packets, the golden rule is whatever size the bulb, point your side up and plant it twice the depth of the bulb.
So easy. So if you want 75 Narcissus tete-a-tetes, put 3 bags into your basket, enter that code there, and you will get 2 of the bags absolutely free. You'll just pay $9.99, you'll get 75 of those bulbs. Plus, you'll get your bag of the endless springtime mix. What are they called?
Endless spring.
Endless spring,
yeah.
There you go. I knew it was a mixture of those words.
You can call it whatever you want, bags.
Bag of bulbs.
Yeah, endless spring, springtime.
Endless spring.
Yeah.
One of them. Right, let's...
Oh! Stu, sorry. I've left my shirt hanging over here. Shall I just...
I'm going to show everybody. Look, Shaun's brought his wardrobe in.
Yeah, I mean, look, I will let you know at home, like, we do have luxury dressing rooms just over there.
They are luxury dressing rooms.
Yeah, they've just been upgraded. We're just having, like, lovely sort of, like, there's going to be, like, a few extra facilities, just a sauna. There's going to be a mini gym in there, isn't there, Bex?
Yeah, absolutely,
So it's all been redone at the moment. I've got my shirt here. And I've just told you, pack a load.
It's very earthy here, and we like that.
We joke. It's a working nursery. And we do love it, actually, don't we? It's proper nursery. It's real. It's not fake.
You've got no divas here, have you?
You haven't, actually.
No, there's no room for any divas here.
Aren't they?
Yeah.
Right, I'll just put my shirt over there, though.
You do it. I'll talk about the Kiona Doxa. So this is the one of the other bulbs we've got for you, which is the Kiona Doxa. It's a bag of 60 bulbs. So if you want to get 3 of them, that means you're going to get 180 of these. Please don't worry, though. Look at the size of the bulb. That's going to so easy for you to be able to plant. And these work great in sort of a woodland setting. They work fantastically, like under trees. Yes, Stu's asking would they make friends with crocus? They'll flower at a very similar time. So absolutely, you could plant these in and amongst the crocus. They're low growing, just like crocus as well, reaching about 15 centimetres in height. So ideal companion for crocus and the early narcissus that you might get. You get masses of flowers in these various shades of blue. They look great planted in large groups because they are quite small. So make sure you do plant them in groups. Under trees, they work beautifully. They've got the Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit, and they will cope in a full sun or a part shade position.
I think they look nice with a tete-a-tete as well. You probably want them in front of the tete-a-tete, but they look great.
Yeah, the edge. Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I've only grown those once, and it was a long time ago, but I do remember them being really quite cute.
I've not grown them, but I do see them quite regularly. And there's a lovely house near where I live, and in springtime, sort of, February, March time, well, late winter, early spring, you go for a walk, and it's this really tall, lovely tree. No idea what it is, massive, great big tree, but then this carpet of Kiona Doxa that come up underneath it. It's so pretty.
Yeah, and I mean, to get, say, 60 bulbs there is incredible. And then finally, last but by no means least, we have got a really unusual selection of tulips, which we've called them the rock garden tulips because they would look great on a rockery, but because they are miniatures, these. But they are, actually, we have got anemones, sorry, as well, on the offer. But these are really, really unusual. Like, some of them you wouldn't even recognise really as tulips,
Definitely, and it's a mix of those 7 different varieties. I mean, there's a Saxatilis in there, there's a few other varieties, but these are all going to be quite short-growing varieties. So normal, standard Triumph tulip, for example, you're talking 40, 50 centimetres in height. Most of these are only going to get to about 20 centimetres, which makes it perfect for a rockery, perfect for those little pots. If you're buying the Kikis, these are going to look great. If you want to mix it in and put some of these around other plants, then these will just pop up out of the ground there. $9.99 for a bag of 20, and of course it's a buy one get 2 free. So if you want 60 of those, just put 3 bags in your basket and enter the code.
And I always like to try new things every single year. I think we all do. You don't get. It's nice to. I think we've all got our comfort zones with our garden, and it's good to know what works, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
And repeat that. But it's always nice to try a few new things and say all of those are really quirky, a little bit unusual, and great for smaller gardens, smaller areas, pots, containers, hanging baskets, and even your rockeries as well, if you've got a rockery or a rock garden. But really like those. And remember, it is a buy one, get 2 free. So you need to put 3 in your basket. You'll only pay for 1. The other 2 will be absolutely free.
So
right.
Those are the 5, but we do have one other you could choose from. So there's 6 in total available. And the 6th one is the anemones. These are those lovely sort of poppy-like flowers, but of course they're not going to get stupidly tall like poppies, are they? They're going to get to about 25 centimetres in height. They will naturalise, they will come back year on year, plant en masse, get that gorgeous variety of colour. Isn't this one of your mum's faves?
It is. My mum loves her anemones.
Yeah, they're gorgeous.
She had a lot of them in her last garden actually, where she had a little bungalow, and they looked magnificent. Right, the most popular plant today. I mean, we're getting been really busy. Big audience today. I think a lot of you watching on the website, Facebook, and of course YouTube. If you are new to our show, my name's Shaun Ryan. I'm the Shaun Ryan presenter and plant man. Bex Edwards is with me, known as all sorts of things actually.
Let's not go there.
I'm only joking. And the person you don't see is Stu, but he's in charge of all the technical things. And actually, Stu's really good at multitasking. I know, amazing for a man. But he does.
True.
So any questions and things, Stu will also keep an eye on the chat for us.
He will indeed. He's very good.
So we'd love to hear from you. But the most popular plant on the show has been the Trachyspernum, the Star Jasmine. And I think what you've all loved about this is the colour, because Bex and I have got the white version of this, which is wonderful. But this is pink.
Yeah,
first time we've seen it.
The pink on here is really quite gorgeous, isn't it? And you've got that yellow little bit in the centre. The pinwheel almost, those star-shaped flowers. But it's the fragrance, isn't it? The fragrance that you get from this in the height of summer is amazing. And of course, it's evergreen, which we love about this climber, because so many climbers are not.
Do you know what I'm thinking, Bex?
What?
I wish I'd planted the pink with the white. Imagine those two together.
You could still,
Actually,
though,
I could probably still get it.
You could totally still do it, I reckon, because they're so slow growing. You know, they don't try and choke other things. So I think you could quite easily put it in with it.
That'd look nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Do it.
Pink and white always looks lovely together. But you have got a £20 saving. So as we mentioned, it's evergreen. It's one of the few climbers that we know that keeps its foliage in wintertime. Flowers beautiful in the summer, but I wish you could smell the fragrance because it is stunning, isn't it? That's really pretty, isn't it?
So pretty.
My order's got. I've already spent. I've spent quite a lot this week already, but.
Why not, eh?
I'll never tell you the other half. Just quickly, YGTV 4724. That's the code you need to use today. What's free gift, Bex?
Oh, it's a bag of bulbs.
Hang on, that's a bit of an understatement.
Dropped your water.
It's all right, we've got plenty more of that. It's a bag of bulbs.
It's a bag of amazing bulbs. So this is the Endless Spring mix that you're getting here. So you were saying a little bit of take on some classics. We've got the Muscari, the Blue Moon that have got those lovely white tips to them. The Canaliculatus, the lovely dinky daffodils, pale yellow petals, but then the bright yellow trumpet in the centre, reaching about 20 centimetres in height.
So cute.
And then we've got the Saxatilis tulips as well, again about 20 centimetres in height. They don't look like tulips, but look at that yolky centre and the pink petals on the edge. Honestly, with every single order, as long as you enter that code there, we will put a bag of these bulbs into your basket for you.
And you may wonder, I know I often say, it's the truth, I bought 15 hellebores earlier on in the week. The reason I didn't put the other things in my basket is because I want more free gifts.
Yeah, definitely.
So if you ever place separate orders, you'll get a free gift with every single separate order. But it depends. I always, we try to save as much money as possible. So sometimes it works out best just to do one order because we give free postage on all orders over £40. Sometimes it works out better to do separate orders. The choice is yours. Right, still got loads to come, haven't we?
Yes, we have. We're going to show your pictures when we come back, by the way.
Yes, and your comments. Right. Let's remind you, so we have got an amazing offer on our ornamental spruce bark mulch. So this is the pub garden that I look after. Basically, the ornaments in those, it's been there years and it's just really hard to grow anything else around it successfully. So all end up is like with weeds and a bit of a mess. So I've just covered two of the big planters with the bark mulch and they look so much better. And again, that's the other one. Doesn't it look so much neater and tidier with that mulch on top of it. So we have got that, great for suppressing weeds. Ornamental pigs love it too, and you get a 70-litre bag. And that does include free delivery, and you get your free bulbs worth £6.99, 100,061. Now, we've had lots of you talking about the problems of slugs, and because we get wetter climates now, slugs they seem to be getting more and more problematic. Now, this is a brilliant product. It's a mineralised straw. It's fully organic, so kind gardening, great for the environment. Doesn't kill slugs. What it does, it just has a texture that they don't like, basically. So the slugs come near it and decide they don't like it, and they move away. So all you need to with straw is really place it around the plants that you want to protect. But having said that, you can do whole borders with it. It also helps retain moisture. It enriches soil structures. We say it stays active for about 2 years, and after that, if you dig it into your soil, if you've got a soil that's heavy like Bex's, it gives it far more structure. It opens up that structure. Great weed suppressant, of course, as well. So it's a really good egg. It's a brilliant all-rounder, and you can get a twin bag today, 2 9-kilogram bags for just $36.97. Right, we've got a lovely Christmas tree. Now, this is the Nordman fir. The difference is, first of all, it's a living Christmas tree. So it's actually been grown for most of its life in the pot. It hasn't just been taken out of the ground and put in a pot. And you maybe think, oh, what do you mean, Shaun? But a lot of the big stores and sheds, at this time of the year, the trees in pots are actually trees that have been grown in the ground and then lifted and put in pots just for Christmas. That stresses them. So in my opinion, they are less likely to survive. This is already growing in its pot. It's been in there most of its life. Now, the Nordman fir, compared to the Norway spruce, this is the one that's got bigger pine needles, it's thicker, it's bushier, it's more lavish looking. As a cut Christmas tree, it doesn't drop its needles, so this is the one that doesn't drop its needles. But remember, this is living and growing. Christmas trees, I love Christmas trees, but I think I've got a little bit more aware of the environmental issues, chopping trees down, putting them on lorries, travelling across the country. So actually, if you've got your own in a pot that you can just bring indoors for Christmas and then put back outside for the rest of the year, that has got to be a good thing. And it works out cost effective as well, doesn't it? Imagine you may never ever have to buy another Christmas tree. So we had some great feedback already. A lot of you ordering these. They will arrive already growing in their pot. And for club members, you can get that for $35.99. I'm buying one of those this year, 170036. Then we have got the Sakakoko, which is also known as Christmas box, sweet box. This one is also known as winter gem. It flowers December, January, February time. Stunning fragrance, but guess what? This one will tolerate full shade. So if you've got a shady area, this one will love it there, but it's fine in sunny as well. 510563. Fragrant flowers in winter. Who'd have thought it? But this one is a beauty, and it's only $9.99. We've also got something brand new. It's the Belia Grandiflora Kaleidoscope, which is semi-evergreen, so most winters it will keep its foliage, flowers in summer, but it is dramatic, beautiful and bold, and it's a big, big plant, this one. It comes in a 2-litre pot for $7.99, and that is 511508. And then we've also got one of Bex's favourites. I know this is sea holly, but it is, of course, also called Blue Hobbit. And it's a spectacular plant. It comes, it's related to the thistle family, but you get the most incredible, almost like electric blue flowers that, in terms of the structure, incredible. $9.99, and again, discount price is £8.99. So that's the Eryngium there. Then we've got the Geranium Tiny Monster. I cannot recommend hardy geraniums enough. They are so hard working. They are low maintenance. They'll tolerate pretty much all soil types, sun, shade, part shade. I wouldn't put them in very heavy shade, but you know, semi-shade, absolutely fine. And they flower all summer long with very little care and attention. And they're great for ground cover. They're great for filling those gaps. They're great if you just want colour with no work or effort. 560641. And they are down to just £9.99 for 3. They're normally $9.99 each. Hello Balls, I've ordered 15 of those. I know it's a bit extravagant, but I love them. And I'm going to have several of them inside for Christmas, and then the rest outside in my containers at the front. But this variety is the Christmas Rose, so it's repeat flying. I mean, it is so floriferous. It will flower and flower and flower, producing dozens of flowers in a season. The flowers are more upright, so you get to enjoy them a lot more than some of the other varieties. And it's a great one in terms of When it ages really well. So the flowers go over, but then they go kind of like greeny and a little bit of pink in there. So the flowers actually last for such a long time and remain beautiful for many, many weeks. 560054. And then really quickly, we are doing a buy one, get two free with the bulb. So just jot down your favourites, put 3 in your basket, and 2 of them will be absolutely free. So the most popular has been the crocus. And again, November, great time to plant any of these. 600,082, 40 of those in the purples, the oranges and the whites, and a few shades in between as well. Then the spherocephalons, the allium drumsticks, tall, flowering, about 70 centimetres to 90. They will flower late on, so height of summer, July time, and look magnificent. So you get 100 of those, 600,137. Then we've got the really unusual rock garden tulips, some stunning varieties that you may never have seen before. 600,433, 20 bulbs in total. Then we've got the Keondoxas. These are really small flying bulbs, so they're only going to grow sort of like 10, 15 centimetres. Really pretty, look great on mass, look great in a kind of woodland area, and fantastic in pots. But remember, these are tiny. They're probably the small, actually, yeah, I'd say out of all the bulbs we've got, they're the smallest in terms of flying, but actually beautiful and look great on mass. 600,155 for the Keondoxas there. Then we've got my favourites. We've got the Narcissi Tete-a-tete. You get 25 of these bulbs. Bex calls them dinky daffs, and I love that expression. Absolutely gorgeous, and again, they're part of the buy one, get two free. And finally, we have got the anemones, which are stunning, stunning flowering bulbs. Flowers sort of March onwards at £9.99. So buy one, get two free. But we have got the best rake that I have ever come across. In fact, Julie, who's head of customer services, she bought this.
Did she?
She did.
Oh, it's brilliant.
I chatted to her at the Christmas party. She's like, oh, I bought that rake. Love it. I don't know why I did a northern accent, because she's not northern.
I don't think she's northern.
She's not. She's very nicely spoken to Julie. But anyway, rather than me talk about it right now with Bex, do you want to see this in action? Well, I tried this out in my garden a few weeks ago and was gobsmacked. It is brilliant. Have a look at this. Now, I've only just discovered this from Spear & Jackson, and I am absolutely gobsmacked how good it is. First of all, it's really lightweight. So something like my mum, who really struggles with any heavy equipment, super lightweight, but look at the size of it. I mean, what, is it twice, 3 times the size of my rake? And the great thing is, I mean, this is brilliant, watch this. You get so many leaves in one go, look at this. And it gets every one of them. Oh, like a kid with a new toy, I absolutely love it. That is amazing. I'm doing some more. I love it. Seriously, I've only just discovered this today. That is amazing. That is one of the best YouGarden products I have seen. So this rake gets even better because it's actually a 3-in-1. So if you want to use it as a smaller rake, then you just take the 2 side panels off. But the great thing is these become your giant hands, your leaf grabbers. So you can just look at this. This is the coolest rake I have ever seen. And it makes that tedious job of gathering up the leaves, and there's a lot of them if you live where I do in the country, but a lot of us have got trees or trees that overlook our garden. I think that deserves a round of applause, don't you? Love it. I'll just go back to my other one, right, just to show you. So this is how I've been raking my leaves, and I lose the will to live. Look. It's like, it's really, really tedious. And yes, it does, I'm out of breath now. It eventually gets them up, but it's slow. And I often find that the leaves, they actually stick on there, they get stuck. Right, I don't have time for that, I'm a busy man. So are we ready? Here we go. Let's just do loads and loads of leaves in one go. Here we go. And it doesn't leave a single one behind. That is a really good product, isn't it? That's changed my life in autumn. So it is from Spear & Jackson. It's super size. And it is one of, well, I can always say that is the best rake I've ever found for leaves. Superb. I wish I'd discovered it a long time ago. But anyway, at least I've got it for this autumn. And we've got a phenomenal price. Just go online, have a look around. We've got a great deal on that. 164.84. Right, I think it's time to do a bit of chatting.
Let's delve into the chat. We've had a few emails. If you do want to be part of it, there's an email address down there. Send us your pictures, send us your questions. We love to see your gardens, what's going on. Alison says, I've planted around 500 bulbs.
Yes!
And have all these remaining to plant. I've been very organised, putting them in planting order and putting labels on so I won't forget. I've tried the lasagna planting. Oh, I just clicked off it. Tried the lasagna planting with my other bulbs and plan to do the same with these bulbs.
Well done, Alison.
She has got a question as well. The snow has made my nerines go over. Do I let them die down naturally or cut them down? Option number one, I would go for. Just let them die down naturally. Leave them alone.
It's a shame the snow's made them go over.
Right, so I love how organised Alison is. Look at this. Very neat handwriting as well. Look, 4 times 20 bulbs equals 80 bulbs. Endless spring mix. So that's the free gift today, by the way, everybody. So it says when they're going to flower, how many she's got.
Oh, that's brilliant.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
And there's a couple more pictures like that.
So
We've got
basically, you've got 4 free gifts.
It looks like it.
Yeah, if you add that up, it must
There's
be...
the hyacinth, berries and cream, flowers between March and May. I love how organised you are. I just plant them and then go, oh, what's that? What's that coming up?
I do try to be organised, but that is brilliant.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
well done, Alison.
Yeah.
Right, Dingo. Hang on, he said no. I showed this picture already. Forget that. Next one I'm going to show you is Neil's picture, and that's actually going to be the next item that we move on to. Now, I love this, Neil. Thank you so much for sending this. He said, "Here's a photo of my Barnsley baby outside my front door. After you had it on last Thursday's show, I thought people might like to see it in full bloom."
Thank you, Neil.
And I love that. Thank you. Look.
Oh.
Customer bought Barnsley baby, had amazing results from it, and is now sharing that with our other potential customers. And that is what this potting shed is all about.
It is, and that would have been taken probably July time, August time, but the Barnsley baby is a mini lavateria, so it's never going to go too big, so ideal as Neil's got it there in a pot and container. Absolutely beautiful. You get all 3 of those, they're coming up as well. Thanks, Neil.
Very, very good. Now, in the chat... Excuse me, on YouTube, Grimmy was asking about the blue hobbit, and I love this. It's a really good question. He says, guys, are blue hobbits good for goldfinches, i.e. do they produce seed for birds? Yeah.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. So another great one. Yeah. And actually, I'll add that to our little sales pitch on that. But yeah, really good one for bringing wildlife into your garden.
I'll be honest, I leave more and more things now to seed. I used to be one of the...
Yeah, me too.
I used to be like manic about tidying all the garden up for winter.
I always used to say we're putting the garden to bed. Yeah. We always used to do that sort of early autumn, just prune back, tidy up, sweep everything up, and now I don't.
No, I tend to let things just say, go sell seed and go to seed, and everyone's different, and there's nothing wrong with being a neat and tidy gardener, but yeah, I leave a lot of things for the birds and insects.
It's good for them over the winter, isn't it? Yeah. It actually helps to protect some plants.
It does, like hydrangeas
it gives a home for like little insects and things over winter, and sometimes you get free plants if you let it sell seed.
Absolutely. So yeah, keep those comments coming. Any more, Bex?
Norfolk Eco, hello guys.
Hello.
He says, hi guys, sorry I'm late. Do we have any evergreens coming up, or should I rewind? Well, we've got our standards, which are evergreens.
We did show you...
Abelia.
That is a great...
Over on the favourite set. We'll be coming to
actually,
it
just
soon.
stay there, but I'll show you what you missed.
I don't think you've missed anything that we're not going to show going forward.
But that is a great... Well, we class it as semi-evergreen, but
true.
In most areas that would keep its leaves. That's the Abelia. That's only $7.99. Amazing.
We'll be coming back to that one very soon, though.
But we're about to do all of our evergreen standards.
Yes, and then we've got our 9-centimetre pots, and those tend to be more herbaceous ones.
And you may have missed the pink jasmine, which is also evergreen.
That's it, though, isn't it? Mahonia. We haven't shown that yet. You're in at the right point, Norfolk Eco.
Soft caress.
Basically, you're here at the right time, so don't you worry about it. You've joined at the perfect time. Thanks,
and you missed the Sarcococa.
We've
got a lot of evergreens, actually. Yeah.
All right, let's do the standards first, shall we? Because this is a great deal we've got on the standards. So the deal here is we've got 4 different of our standards to choose from. Now, a lot of the time we'll do a pair. So, for example, the pair of hollies, we've had those on recently.
Yeah, we have.
Great, come with the pots, and if you want a pair, brilliant. Sometimes people don't want a pair. Sometimes you want 2 different ones. Yeah. And that is the deal that you're getting here. It's a double-up deal, but it's a mix and match. Choose the 2 you want. If you want 2 the same, you can go for that. But if you want the rosemary, which has been the most popular, you just touched that and I got the fragrance over here.
Beautiful.
If you want the rosemary and the holly, for example, you can do that. Just put both in your basket, enter the code, and you'll get the amazing deal.
What you might want to do...
Oh, that smell of rosemary, I love it.
Because a lot of people plant in 3, so you might want to go for 3 of one particular variety and then just 1 of something else. And, you know, many options, but the rosemary's been the most popular. And that's what I went for. I went for the rosemary and I went for the ceanothus and the rosemary in the end. Do you know what it was, Bex? Because Bex is, I'd say it's fair to say, you're probably better at cooking than me. But I love rosemary as a herb, and I didn't have it in my garden, so I thought, hang on, if I'm going to have rosemary, why not have it as a standard?
Absolutely.
That looks beautiful.
Now, you like a barbecue, don't you?
Love a barbecue.
I know you do. So, here is a lovely tip for you when you're barbecuing. Don't just, I mean, obviously we use the herb rosemary, but you can cut an entire sprig like that.
Yeah.
Take those off and use what's left, that stalk, as a skewer.
For a kebab?
Yeah.
Do you know what? I think I've heard of that before.
It's so
good. Like with lamb and things?
With lamb, with all sorts, and you can use it as a skewer. Obviously, it helps if you soak it a little bit because then it doesn't burn. You know, same as you would with a wooden skewer. But yeah, you can use them as skewers inside, and it just infuses this flavour.
I've got some slightly crazy friends called Jim and Liz. They lived in my village. Sadly, they've moved now, but they always used to barbecue on Christmas Day.
Oh really?
Whatever the weather.
Amazing.
They had like an undercover bit, but they'd always barbecue.
Why not?
Yeah. And they do some sort of weird turkey, not weird turkey, but it was turkey they do on the barbecue. They were actually very good cooks. But anyway, I just went for this because I thought, I love rosemary as a herb. I love the look of this. Also, as well, when rosemary flowers, it's stunning.
Oh, it's really pretty.
Beautiful.
So pretty, absolutely. Of course, it's evergreen as well, so it looks this good all year round. And actually, it's just going to keep getting better because as this obviously gets mature, it will get, you know, bigger and fuller and bushier. So it's a perfect one if you want it, you know, something that's going to look good all year round. Yeah. But it's also perfect for smaller spaces because rosemary can get quite big.
God,
you know, the rosemary bush in my garden, I really have to keep pruning it back, otherwise it's going to take over. The beautiful thing with all of these standards is that they're never going to get too big. They'll get taller, the stems will get thicker, they'll get maybe to 1 metre, maybe even 1.5 metres in height, but they're not going to spread and take up all this space. And keep the cane in there just for a couple of years.
Until that gets thicker and stronger.
Just until it gets a bit stronger, and then you can remove it.
And don't forget with this rosemary, when we say standard, this is years of growing. You know, it's not easy to grow standard. I've done a few myself before, and it's a lot of work constantly taking out the side shoots. So very skilled work has gone into this, and it's really quite unusual to get rosemary as a standard. Loads you're getting for that one. Double up deal. So any two, mix and match. The other one that I think is, well, they're all lovely, but
they're all a lovely height as well. Have you seen? They're all uniform heights, which is great.
And these have just been randomly picked from the nursery. Ceanothus, one of our absolute favourites. The colour that you get in May time with the Ceanothus is spectacular. But to get it as a standard is so rare and unusual. And I love the fact, again, Bex, it's evergreen, but the flowers are magnificent in summer, aren't they? Early summer.
This is a proper feature plant, isn't it? You know, I mean, we always say about Ceanothus how it sort of steals the show at that time of year. It's the thing that you want to look at the most because it is so impressive when it gets covered in those flowers. But as a standard, you know, that really is a true feature plant in any garden, whether that's planted in the ground or in a pot. And it can get covered. I mean, it will get covered like that. So evergreen foliage that's there all year round, something to look at all the time. But the flowers are floriferous, you know, they're prolific in its flowering ability.
And all that happens with these, as you saw in that picture, over the years the stem gets thicker and stronger, that lollipop shape, the big ball of colour will only get bigger and grander. And again, bear in mind you can go for any two and only pay $49.99. So, you know, you pay another tenner to get a second standard. So really, we love Ceanothus. Nice sunny position for that, by the way. Loves the sun, but very, very reliable. Now, the only reason I haven't bought the viburnum is because I've got the viburnum already. Not as a standard, I've got it as a big shrub in the garden. But for winter flowering, incredible. Do you remember, Bex, we had the standard last year, the Eve Price?
I do.
And it flowered for months, didn't it?
Honestly, we kept bringing it for ages because it looked good for ages. So it's starting to bud up now. You can see these lovely clusters. And it's a gorgeous colour that you've got here. It's like a pinky colour, tight clusters of those blooms that you've got. But then they're going to burst open and you get these white flowers, but they all sort of open open at various different times. So you get a mixture of the pink buds with the flowers on there as well. So just that extra layer of interest going on. But the fragrance you get from it is incredible as well, isn't it?
Yeah, last year when we had these in the potting shed in flower, it was quite magnificent, wasn't it?
Filled the potting shed with fragrance. So it's a nice alternative, isn't it, over the Christmas period, over the festive period, over the winter period, of adding a bit of, beauty, colour, fragrance into your garden.
And although all of these standards will be very happy in pots, don't forget they also can add height to a border.
I think this would be great. So if you've got, a border fence there, just in an odd number, 3 or 5, depending on how long that is, just at nice equal intervals along there. And then the great thing about...
There we were last year.
The great thing about standards is that you can then underplant, so you can get even more plants in your garden.
I remember those so well.
Yeah.
Last year, they flowered. So they started round about now, and they went all the way through December, January, February, March. Amazing.
Oh, that looks so nice, doesn't it?
It does. Look at everyone. That's what we love about YouGarden. We've got 11 acres of nursery. Look at the consistency of those viburnum. Every single one was a winner, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Every single one. So that might be I'd say there's a lot to choose here. That might be another one on your list. And then finally, we have got our holly. Again, I've got the holly, you've got the holly.
Got the holly.
Mine have grown huge. I actually ended up putting mine in the border in the end. I had them in pots for about 5 years. And once it went in the border, they went crazy.
They really filled
They're
out.
Like huge.
I've still got mine in my pots. I've brought them round from the back of the house round to the front of the house, ready to put on either side of the front door. From the 1st of December, that's what I do with them. They go, I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't got a nice front door like that. But yes, it elevates my front door and makes it even more beautiful. This is a blue made variety. So actually, there's a couple of things to point out here. It's a female variety, which means that it is berry producing, and you will get berries on yours. Again, it's going to fill out and get bigger and even more berries. But you've got distinctive, you can see actually, can't you? There's different colours. So there's a lighter colour on one side of the leaf and a darker colour on the other side of the leaf. That's something a bit distinctive to the blue made variety. And finally, it's not as prickly.
It's not, I agree.
I mean, look,
it's not.
It really isn't as prickly as other varieties. If I get the edge of one of those, I can run my finger along it and it's not hurting. And I wouldn't be doing that with other forms of ilex, because they can be really prickly.
I've got one in my garden and it's lethal.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we have said the crop this year is particularly berrylicious, covered in berries.
Very good.
Especially it's a female variety, so you're going to get even more berries, and they are beautiful. So any of these, mix and match, whether you're going to go for the holly, the rosemary, the ceanothus, or the viburnum, any of those, you're going to get 2 for £49.90. And it does add, I know I just said it, but it does add something a little bit extra in terms of dynamics to your garden. You don't see standards regularly. You don't. And not these particular varieties. You may never have seen a rosemary standard before, a ceanothus or a viburnum. You've probably seen the holly, but those three I think are really quite rare and unusual.
Love them.
Great, really are. Right.
Oh,
where's my Barnsley baby, Bex?
Oh, we've got some questions coming in apparently. Hang on.
Oh. I don't know. Sorry.
Can't believe I've just... hang on. Can't believe I've just opened a bag of compost I put in September and it's mouldy. Never ever had YouGarden mouldy compost. Yeah, that doesn't sound right at all.
Just look, ring customer service, get it exchanged. That's what I do.
Yeah, absolutely go to customer services, explain what's happened. I've never experienced that myself. I genuinely never experienced it, but have a word. You know what they're like. They'll always try and fist it.
Get them to replace it.
So is it June? J. Kroll. June, hello. So she says, hi folks, can I ask a question? I bought Jack Frost, that's the Brunera from last week, they arrived this week. Are they supposed to die down in the winter?
Yes. Yes.
We're nodding vigorously.
Yes. Don't worry.
Don't
Absolutely.
panic. They do. You said we look like Churchill dogs. Oh, yes. Yes, they are herbaceous perennials, so they will die down. So just keep them nice and safe over the winter, and you'll start seeing that new growth coming up. Don't worry about it.
Springtime. I mean, you could plant them out now, but just make sure you maybe put a little marker so you know where they are, so you don't dig them up by mistake.
Yeah. Right, we're going to take you back to Neil's picture of the Barnsley baby, because that's the item that we're bringing you onto now, the Lavatera, the Barnsley baby. This is Neil's grown on. This shows you what it's like once it gets more mature. Now, this is the reason to go for Barnsley baby, because Neil's got that in a pot. I'm not sure you could do that with... with traditional big Lavatera.
No, I think
not as easily. Anyway.
I mean, I've got the classic, and mine's about 5 foot by 5 foot. It's big, it's lovely. But I'm lucky I've got a big garden. So this variety was specifically bred for smaller gardens and pots and containers.
Yeah.
And it really works, doesn't it?
It does. You get all of the beauty of Lavatera, but in a compact form. But that doesn't mean you're compromising on the size of the flowers, by the way. You still get gorgeous large flowers from this. And I love the way Lavatera opens in succession. I mean, I love that with all, like the delphiniums.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. Do you know, I know exactly what it is. You go out every day looking for the next one that's opened up, and you go out the next day looking for the next one that's opened up. That's what I really like when it opens in succession, because it just gives you longevity. You know, you're out there for several days, but potentially weeks on end, looking at the journey the plant is taking you on.
And I love I'm going to say the informality of Lavatera. Yeah. They're not really structured. They've got that kind of their own kind of little way of just gently twisting, turning, rambling. You know, when I look at, like the standards, they're very formal looking, beautifully shaped. So Lavatera's got a really nice, relaxed look to it, I would say.
Definitely. And if you have got smaller space, do you know what, this is for loads of different gardens. Shaun could grow this in his 12 acres that he's got.
It's not quite acres.
But, you know, Shaun's got a large garden. He talks about that a lot.
I live in the country.
Yeah, of course. So in a large garden, Shaun could have this. In a regular family-sized garden, I could grow this. But if you've got a balcony and that is your outdoor space, you could grow this as well.
I often think, much as I love having a big garden, sometimes it's easier to make a small garden look good.
It's true.
As long as you choose the right things.
Yes.
And this is perfect. So we're only talking, it's not even probably going to get to meet to this one, is it?
No, probably not. I mean, we're talking maybe about sort of, I don't know, between 2 and 3 feet sort of height and spread here. It's wildlife friendly. They adore this plant. It's completely winter hardy, so you don't need to worry about that at all. It wants to be planted in a really nice sunny position. I wouldn't try and shoehorn it into anywhere shady. It definitely wants to be in a sunny position. And you could even cut stems off this to be able to use them as cut flowers if you want to. If you're big on having cut flowers in the home, you could use it for that.
I've never done that, but I think they look lovely.
You really could with it. I mean, with any Lavatera, you could do that.
And don't worry too much about pruning it. Always flowers on its new growth. So if it does get a bit out of shape, just give it a good. I know they said hack back. That's a professional term, but
no. But I do think that's a professional term with gardening. Hack it back. You can do that with Lavatera.
You can, and I always do it in the springtime.
Yeah.
And it looks amazing in my garden. But I'm lucky I've got a big space. Neil's just said everyone stops and looks at it.
Yeah, everyone that sees it stops and looks apparently. Yeah, everyone that walks past the Barnsley Baby when it's in bloom stops to look and smell it. That's beautiful.
I tell you what, Neil, I would like to know, how long did it flower for? Because mine did flower for 7 months this summer. Really did. I got a good, I'd say, 3 months of flying. So I'd like to know if the Barnsley Baby's just as floriferous. Floriferous, yeah. I finished that a bit quickly, didn't I? Yes, floriferous. It'd be great to know, Neil. Right, now we have now got I know this is dogwood, the corners for you. And I remember having this in my last garden. And in winter time, when it's really frosty, or even if you've got a little bit of snow on the ground, this looks spectacular. Look, do you remember it on the nursery last year, Bex?
I do. I mean, it was bearing in mind we're on an 11-acre nursery, so once we get round the side of the building, you know, it's a big open space, isn't it? And that was at the other end.
I remember,
and it was the first thing you looked at, because the colour of it planted en masse like that was amazing. Now, it's not just winter colour, although we often talk about it in winter because you get these bright, fiery red stems on here, but there's actually interest on this plant all the way through the year. There's a true sort of 4 seasons of interest, isn't there? Because you get lovely white flowers in summer, you get berries in the summer, you get the bright red stems in winter, and in spring, of course, you get those, you know, the new growth and the green against the red stems on there. So there's something for you to look at no matter the season. Totally winter hardy, got our lifetime guarantee, got the Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit, so it's a proven performer. I think it ticks every single
Yeah,
box.
I do. Now, you are getting 3 of these, and so many garden designers do plant in 3s. What I would say, if you want the really magical kind of red in the winter, you generally get that from the new growth, not the old wood. So once it gets established, I'd say every year, just give it a good prune. Take off about 1/3 of the old wood, because it's all the new growth that gives you the best colours, if that's what you desire. And I had one of these in my last garden, and I used to love look. It was in the back garden. I used to love looking out on a really cold day. I didn't even want to get out in the garden, but I'd look out my window and I'd see that intense red and orange. It's magical. It really is. So, if you'd like to go to Corners, the midwinter fire there, only £9.99. You do get all 3. And also, this is fairly fast growing, actually, reasonable.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it can get quite big. It can get to, if you leave it,
2.5 metres.
Yeah, 2.5 metres, absolutely.
I love me
height
being
and
2.5
spread
metres
here.
high, by the way. My height, 2.5 metres, I wish.
Well, I don't think you'd want to be 2.5 metres. That's like...
What's that in feet?
You'd be stupidly tall.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't want to know. I'd like a couple more inches, 6 foot would be nice. 6 foot would be good.
Definitely, I'd like to be a bit taller.
Yeah, but you know what? In fact, I must have said that. My phone must have listened to me on one occasion, because I started getting adverts for trainers with lifts in them.
No
I did, yeah. I was only joking.
How funny.
Yeah. I don't want any of that.
No, thank you very much.
Right, anyway. That wood does grow quite tall, though, up to 2.5 metres. We're going to move on to, we've got some echinacea for you. And, I mean, I love echinacea. We've got a few different varieties on the show today. That is a beautiful colour, isn't it?
Love the colour of this one. So it's called the Purpureus Magnus. So you've got sort of purples, but they're more pinky tones, I think, that you get in here. I love echinacea for the fact that the flowers last forever.
They do, don't they? Do yeah,
they really do seem to last for ages. So that's on the plant, but also if you cut them and bring them indoors as cut flowers, they do seem to last for a long, long time as well. So good. I'd say my echinaceas, honestly, one single flower would last a good probably 6 weeks.
I was going to say,
and it didn't look like it was going over at any point. It looked really good from day one onwards.
I wonder why they do last so long.
I don't know. That cone in the centre as well, it's so sturdy. You can really touch it, and it's so ridiculously sturdy. It's known as the cone flower, isn't it? Because that pronounced cone in the centre, that really does invite the pollinators in. RHS have given it their Perfect for Pollinators badge. It's so hardy, it's amazing. It's a perennial that will come back for you year after year, and it's going to form clumps for you as well that you can, over the years you can separate those and divide them and move them around your garden.
I love perennials.
I do.
They just, especially the reliable ones, and this is totally reliable, because you buy them today, you get 3 of them for $9.99, and yet you are going to get so many flowers for years and years to come. And 3s do work well. I know we keep saying it, but you'll know if you've maybe planted some borders up and they don't look that great. My garden is still work in progress. I think most of our gardens are. But 3s work really, really well. Even if you grew this in pots, and you certainly could, 3 grouped together, it just has the right look, doesn't it? By the way, Neil's just talked about he just commented on his Lavatera.
I'm amazed at this.
5 months, he said, yeah.
5 months of flowers.
Mine didn't flower quite so long.
I need some Barnsley Baby. Need some Barnsley Baby in my life.
That's good, isn't it?
Yeah, really good.
Right, we have got now a stunning poppy. I think this is one of the most beautiful poppies we've had this year, don't you?
I was about to say exactly the same thing.
It is, isn't it?
It really is. It's one of the most stunning poppies that we bring you. The colour on this really talks to me. And every time we bring it to you, I say the same words. It's like an antique ruffled silk. Yeah. And it is. It's the kind of texture of it, but the colour that makes me think that. It's so pretty. The centre is just mesmerising, isn't it? That makes you want to look at it. It's almost hypnotic.
And the flowers are big and they're blousy.
Yeah, look at that. Oh. I want that garden.
Is that the ceanothus? That's what I'm thinking. Well, it probably would be, because the poppy normally flowers about June time. The ceanothus kind of May, June, so I'm sure it would have been. But if I look at this little clip of film and what inspiration it gives us to see those poppies in full bloom, en masse, absolutely amazing. And I do, you'd never think of this poppy in a formal garden. To me, it is that country cottage.
Rambling, that kind of. And do you know the great thing about poppies, because we often talk about having 365 days of colour, trying to get colour in our garden as much as possible. The thing I like about poppies is that they sort of come up when spring bulbs are starting to finish, but they come up just before all the summer stuff really starts to take over. So it's a really sort of, moving you through those seasons, isn't it?
And you can get them to flower again. What we do with our poppies, we chop them right after because I'll be honest, after the flower, they tend to look a little bit straggly. And the foliage gets a little bit loose. So if you want to, chop them right back after they've flowered, and within a few weeks you get some new growth, and quite often you can then get a second flourish. But they are absolutely magnificent. That particular variety, the Patty's Plum, is one of the best, one of the most beautiful we've ever seen. I want my garden to look like that
yes,
one, don't you?
Yeah. That's the dream, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, well, asters would be a good one to add in to get that kind of look and feel going on in your garden as well.
And actually, you'd have your poppies sort of like June time, then your asters would be more September, October, wouldn't they?
Yeah, these are great. This is the Aster fricati monk. So a little bit taller than asters you might normally think of. The asters I've got in my garden, they're the sort of lower growing ones. But asters in general are great flowers for transitioning through seasons. So these will come into bloom sort of height of summer and around sort of July time, August into September, but they keep going into October as well. Potentially this year, maybe even into November too, because we had such a mild year. But they definitely transition from summer into autumn, and that's what I adore about asters.
And actually, have you got that little clip of my mum's garden, any chance? I was having a look. Only because my mum bought one of these last year.
It's just in the background.
Yeah,
there,
can you see it? Just behind me. If you look at my elbow, they're just behind that. But do you know what? They've given the best autumn colour. They've actually been the star of the show recently.
Definitely, and that's why you want asters in your garden.
So that border to my left, to my right rather, so that you can see most of that had gone over. The lavatier, it's a big lavatier at the back, that stopped flowering. That's a passion flower that had gone crazy. But the asters in October looked incredible.
And this was filmed in October, apparently.
It was,
Stu's saying in my ear.
Early October.
Yeah.
But there they are. So,
and the colour combination of this, what's we call them the jewel mix or something, don't we? The other asters we do.
Yeah, we do one that's got it's got a crimson colour in it, hasn't it?
Yeah, and honestly, this colour combination, that lilac-y, purpley blue, I can't even describe it, with that golden yellow centre, those daisy-like flowers, they're so pretty.
Is it like a Parma violet?
It's a bit like a Parma violet, yeah, I can see that. I love it. I think it's a really standout colour.
Sorry, do you know what?
I love a Parma violet.
I'm giggling because I think I said the other day I bought a Christmas sweet box for my goddaughter. So it was a reindeer
to eat them all.
I've eaten every sweet in there, including Parma violet. So I'm going to have to buy something else now. Anyway, if you would like the aster there, the Fricati Monk, stunning variety, and they get to about, I'm going to say about 7 centimetres probably.
Yeah, a good couple of feet. 60, 70 centimetres height.
And give you that amazing colour in autumn time. So don't forget any of these, so whether you're going for the asters, whether you're going for the Patty's Plum, the Echinacea, the Cornus, the Lavatiera, Barnsley Baby, you get 3, not 1, but you get 3 for £9.99. And now is a great time to plant your perennials. All of these, I know you might be thinking, oh, hang on, but it's a bit cold, we've had a few frosts and things. All of these are fully winter hardy. I mean, you could leave them in the pot till spring, but you can, of course, plant them right now.
June's got another question.
Morning.
Hello, June. So she says, thank you for the Jack Frost info. Next question, got the OMG massive agapanthus that is bursting out of its pot. Did you say they require to be repotted now, or can it be left in its current pot over winter? I would probably leave it in its pot over winter. They actually like to be really restricted. That's how you sort of get them to flower. Excuse me, but if it's really bursting out of its pot in springtime, you can go into just a slightly larger pot. Don't go too big.
A couple of centimetres maximum extra.
Yeah, that's all.
Because otherwise, give it loads of room and it'll just produce loads of leaves, basically. But that was a really good deal, wasn't it? We saw them.
Amazing
huge,
deal.
Aren't they? But well done. I think they sold out, didn't they? Yeah, so well done for getting those. But that will, promise us if you can, send us some pictures when it flowers in summertime.
Because they were so big, weren't they?
Yeah.
So big.
Amazing for that price. They really were. So thank you for that question. Any more questions, Bex and I are here, obviously, to help you. Right, just quickly, if you want the compost, by the way, remember, It is our best-selling compost. You've got 50% wood fibre. You've got different types of peat, the light, the dark, the sphagnum moss peat, which is renewable. Slow-release fertiliser that feeds the plants for 5 to 6 months. You've got a pH buffer. That just basically means it's the right pH for pretty much all plants, with the one exception, the acid-loving ones. And a wetting agent, which means if it does dry out, I mean, even in winter, sometimes, especially your pots, your containers, your hanging baskets, if it's a windy day, like the winds we've had this morning, they would have dried out pots. You know, it was about, it was... I do it by the BBC weather, but it was it was saying 45, so up to 45 miles an hour. It was,
wow.
Yeah, it was windy.
So many of my pots have blown over this morning.
I know.
But yeah, and Stu
I
was
said
just
to
saying,
my mum, don't go out today, because my mum would
get blown over.
She's only 6.5 stone, she would. So our compost, you do get, we've not put the price of this up for at least 18 months. You're getting 2 50-litre bags. And I just want to really talk about the value, because we don't claim to be the cheapest. But having said that, you are getting 100 litres delivered free of charge. Mm-hmm. Most of you are club members, so every time you buy the compost, you only pay $22.48. And Bex is holding your free gift worth $6.99. You are going to get 20 of these absolutely stunning bulbs. And these are not just your everyday bulbs. These are, I said, they're a bit of a twist on a classic. So the Muscari Blue Moon, and that's got like the light tips at the top, hasn't it? Really lovely.
And we love these. Every single one here is a shorter mix.
Yeah.
So obviously Muscari is low growing. You've got the Canaliculatus, the dinky daffodils, and you've got the Saxatilis tulips, and these are shorter growing, only getting to about 20 centimetres. So they work beautifully all together. And all of these are going to come up at roughly the same time as well, aren't they?
They are, yeah. So like March into April, yeah. So you can plant them all together. What you might want to do, I mean, a lot of you are stockpiling these because you get one free with every single order. You may decide to mix them all together. You may decide to just plant your Muscari all in one pot, your Caniculatus in another pot. But it's up to you. But you are going to get 20 bulbs free, and they're a little bit different. So they're not your everyday tulips and your everyday narcissi. They've all got a little bit of a twist to them. So if you actually work out the value, £7 worth of bulbs, suddenly you're suddenly paying £15.50 for club members for the compost, which is then actually really affordable.
Really affordable. And the thing is, you don't just want to buy cheap rubbish compost. Honestly, I used to buy the cheapest thing available. Now I know better. I have used this compost for years now, and I can see the difference, and I know you can see the difference as well. If you don't believe us, if you're watching us going, those two, Shaun and Bex, they're talking absolute tosh. What is this nonsense about? It's just dirt. Please go and have a little read of all of our reviews on this, because over the years we've been bringing it, so many people have said how good this is and that they'll never use anything else. We honestly believe it makes you a better gardener instantly. And in fact, we know every time we get reviews in, the average rating is always, generally speaking, somewhere between 4.5 and 5. So these are the last 3 reviews. So the 23rd, we're literally coming today. So lightweight. Therefore easy to manage, sufficient soil aeration, plants grow well. The best, thank you Eunice, just a customer here, came in 2 days ago. The best compost I've ever bought. I won't buy any other compost. Plants love it too, thank you. And then one that came in 4 days ago, this is my go-to compost when repotting and planting out plants in my garden. It works, simples. Order received in good order and within a reasonable time frame as well. And don't forget, this compost we say is for anything from seeds all the way through to trees. So seeds, plug plants, great for house plants. So the only exception are the acid-loving plants, and we do have an ericaceous compost for those. But it's a lovely texture.
And I'm just thinking, we've sold millions and millions of bags of this, and I love the fact that so many of you give us those great reviews. Now, a few more items for you. Yeah, we've got a couple of options here. So we're going to start with the bark, which is this one here. It doesn't come to you in a little tray like this. It comes to you in a 70-litre big bag we're talking about. Now, this is great for a few different things. So at this time of year, I think the reason to be going for this is definitely going to be for that winter duvet. Have you got the extra blanket on your bed? I dug out my weighted blanket the other night because it was freezing. You need a little extra layer, don't you, at this time of year? Well, your plants do as well. It's not the fully winter hardy ones, but there's certain plants that just need that extra tiny little bit of winter protection, and that is what bark mulch can provide.
But it's not just that, is it? Shaun's used it at the pub because it looks really pretty.
It tidies everything up. It gives like a uniform look to your pots and containers. It suppresses weeds. It's great at retaining moisture. So in the summer months, it's fantastic at keeping moisture in the ground. It's great for play areas. It's great for walking on. You know, it's like sometimes if all your borders are muddy at this time of year and you've got to do a bit of pruning, weeding, planting, whatever, you get mud everywhere.
It's awful.
Oh, I did it the other day and I mean, my shoes were covered in mud. Then I walked on the patio, mud everywhere. It looked a real mess. So many different uses. But the one thing I would say, it does also make everything look nice as well. It's actually very attractive, isn't it? Really attractive.
Yeah, for sure. So it's got multiple uses, which was what we really like about it. However, maybe you want extra slug and snail protection.
Yeah, because actually the one thing that is not going to do is really make any difference to slugs. This is where I used it just in the pub garden, and these two containers, I'll be honest, the ornamus was just sapping the life out of everything. So whenever I tried to grow plants around them, they just didn't do that well. So what I've done, I've just made it simple. I have just covered every big container with the ornamental spruce bark mulch. And I just think it all looks better. It neatens it up. No more weeding, no more mess. And then the other option that we've got for you is Strolch. Now, this is slightly different. This, if you've got slugs and snails, is the best organic solution that we've ever found, because we do need the slugs and snails in our garden. We need to have that biodiversity. Hedgehogs, I love hedgehogs.
Oh, they're so cute.
They really are.
Love it.
And they need those slugs. They really do. But what this does, it doesn't kill them. It's not like the pellets or some of the chemicals, but it gets them to move away from the plants that you want to protect. So a little bit of this around, I mean, things like young lupins, for example, hostas, delphiniums.
I lost some delphiniums, and I love delphiniums, but I lost a couple of delphiniums in my garden because I didn't take my advice. I did not protect them with Strolch, and you know they got to the young growth, which meant they were completely decimated, gone.
In fact, the lobelia, the Queen Victoria lobelia, that is notorious for being eaten away by slugs. Yeah. And it's awful, particularly if you're growing things like, you know, your own vegetables like lettuces, and they just disappear overnight. Marigolds, they can just go overnight.
Oh yeah, they got my marigolds this year.
I've planted those before, and literally the next day they have gone.
Yeah, they got them this year.
So this is the best slug deterrent that we've ever seen, but also many other properties. It's a weed suppressant. It will retain moisture. We say it's active for about 2 years, but then once it starts to become less effective, if you actually dig it into your ground, it improves soil structure as well. Yeah. And I mean, for a garden like yours, clay soil, brilliant at just opening up that soil.
Totally. So many uses for this. Right now, again, it's that time of year where we want to give them the winter protection, but throughout the whole year you will get benefits from this.
Yeah.
Weed suppressing, moisture retention, winter protection, but also those slugs and snails.
So we have got an offer right now. 2 big bags, free delivery, 100, 149. And don't forget, you'll still get your free gift, that stunning endless bulb selection for you as well. And if you just joined us, good morning.
Hello.
That was my little jump Bex. Morning.
It's his signature move.
Yeah, a certain website does call me Bouncing Bunny. Please don't search for it.
Really?
Yeah. So yeah.
I like it.
Shaun Ryan, the Bouncing Bunny. Anyway, I know. Don't you start calling me Bex.
Oh, look, it's a compliment. Don't you worry.
You think? Anyway, right, the standards. Let's imagine these are brilliant. They're unusual. They're really a great way of getting your fantastic favourites, but grown as a standard. So this is the rosemary standard. Now, it's a herb. Rosemary, obviously, it's a herb. So great fragrance, great for your roasties, your lambs. But there's so much more to rosemary, because when it flowers, it's beautiful, it's stunning. This is a way of getting rosemary in your garden, but having it look really attractive. Now, you might want to go for 2 of these, because it's a double up deal. So 2 for £49.99, really popular today, but you can mix and match it with any of the others. But I've gone for the rosemary, that was one that I went for, with the ceanothus. But you've got to put the 2 in the basket that you want. Now, our next one is the viburnum. Viburnum is actually really easy to grow in the UK, but this one has been shaped as a standard. So that means you've got that lovely lollipop shape. This is years of growing to actually create this. Starts to flower around about now actually, so we'll be flying the next couple of weeks, but they flower December, January, February, March. I always just kept going and going and going. Like sun position, but part shade is absolutely fine. They are fully winter hardy. And I mean, imagine if you wanted something a little bit different, imagine 2 of those outside your front door at Christmas time with some little lights on them. They'd look amazing, they really would. 510191. Then we have got the holly, and really nice variety this one, known as Blue Maid. So lots of advantages, not as spiky, not as prickly. It's a female variety, so many berries on this one. But again, it has been meticulously grown as a standard with that lollipop shape. And over the years, the stem will get thicker and stronger. The head will turn into this beautiful ball of holly with hundreds of berries. And again, that is in the double up mix and match deal, 510182. So for an extra £10, basically, you get an extra tree. And then the one that I also went for was the Ceanothus. Now, this is hardy, fully winter hardy. A lot of people know this is the Californian lilac tree. Flowers sort of May time. And Ceanothus just look magnificent when they flower. They tend to just flower so much. When I say that, like every single stem covered in this beautiful, beautiful lilac. And they're easy to grow, but they really would appreciate a sunny spot. So the sunniest part of your garden would be absolutely ideal and great in pots, but also fantastic in your borders. 510199. So don't forget to double up on those. So put 2 in your basket and you get any two for £49.99. But you do need to use, as ever, the offer code YGTV4724. Now, a lot of you saying, is November a great time to plant bulbs? It's a fantastic month. It really is. And we have got a buy one, get 2 free. So we'll be honest, we don't want to be selling these in January. We'll be closed for a little while over Christmas, so we are doing a phenomenal deal to really sell as many of these today as possible. So starting off the crocus, you get 40 of these mixed colours, so you get the oranges, you get the purples, you get the whites there, and they're going to be flying round about February time, 600,082. You can go for 3 of those, or you can mix and match with any of the others. Then we've got the Narcissi. Now these are the mini daffs, the dinky daffs. They're only going to go to about 20 centimetres. They're going to be multi-flowered, so lots of lovely daffodil flowers talking to each other, hence the tete-a-tete name, and absolutely ideal for smaller gardens and hanging baskets and containers. Then something that's going to fly a little bit later, so the Narcissi probably about March time. Then in July, the Sphaerocephalons will be glorious. So these grow tall. These can grow around about 70 centimetres. They are self-supportive. So even though they're tall, you're not going to need canes and things like that to protect them. But what I love about them is the grandeur. Alliums that really have a presence, and the pollinators love them. 600,137. Then we've got the lovely rock garden mix with our tulips. Very interesting mix, these. Tulips, I mean, when tulips are bred from seed, they can take several years to produce their first tulip. So a lot of breeding has taken place over the last decade or so with tulips, and that's why we've got all of these really unusual mixes. 20 of these, it's a buy one, get 2 free again at $9.99, 600,433. Then we've got the Kid-Doxas, probably the smallest of the flying bulbs. Only going to be about 10 to 15 centimetres. Great in clumps, great at the front of a border, great in that kind of woodland setting. They actually look really good. You know, the bark, the mulch that we've got, they'd look great with that surrounding them. But we are going to give you 60 of these. I'll give you the details if I can, because they do look best planted en masse. So the Kid-Doxa, 600,155. And then finally, we have got the anemones, which are also part of the same deal, and these are, they're lovely. They're a little bit fuzzy, a little bit furry in terms of the foliage and the flowers. They remind me a little bit of poppies, but they are going to give you the most wonderful displays from March onwards. 600,319 at £9.99. And don't forget, even if you buy the bulbs, you will still get your free pack of bulbs today, the Endless Spring Collection. But with all those bulbs and all those magnificent offers, you're probably going to need some more pots. And we happen to have some, don't we, Bex?
Yes, we've got pots for you. It doesn't matter what size you want. I think we've got a great mix of different sizes. And we're going to start off with the smaller one. Shaun's already potted one of the hellebores into one of the ones that you would receive. And great, it is beautiful.
And that took me 2 minutes.
So you get 3 hellebores in the deal that we're doing today, and also you're going to get 3 of the pots in the deal that we're doing today, because the Kiki is on a buy one get 2 free. So to place your order, you go to YouGarden.com. The item number you need is 130596. Put one of those into your basket, and then on the right-hand side of the screen it says, "Do you have an offer code?" The answer is yes, you do, because it's right there. YGTV4724. Put that in, and then another 2 are going to be put into your basket free of charge.
And don't forget, if you don't want to order on a website, that's absolutely fine. You can give us a call, but the phone lines are not open at the moment on a Sunday. They are in peak season, not in November, but you could give us a call first thing tomorrow morning. So 0844 502 0050. So those are the Kiki.
And they're plastic, by the way, just to point that out. I know it says powdered clay, so I don't want you thinking you're getting a terracotta or something.
No.
It's the colour that you're getting. They're UV stabilised, they're frost resistant, they're lightweight, and they won't break.
But they do look like real terracotta. They really do, don't they?
They don't break. That's the beautiful thing about them.
And
or it's very difficult to break them.
When I went to the garden centre the other day, big display of terracotta, and so many of them are cracked and chipped. Now, also, if you're looking for like smaller pots, I mean, these are great for any of the bulbs really that we've got on the show. These are only $3.99, and it is a buy one get 2 free. So they're actually, for club members, they work out £1.20 each.
Yeah, these are great again. I mean, if you wanted these for the hellebores, these would be the perfect size for the hellebores. They've got that kind of brushed, coppery bronze colour to them as well, which gives them a bit of a festive feel. But dinky daffodils, crocus, Chionodoxa.
Any of the free bulbs?
The free bulbs, any of those would work beautifully in these pots.
And the value is extraordinary. And they're going to last you years. Bex, you're scaring me.
Honestly, really difficult to break these. I'm not saying they're completely indestructible, but the whole point of using plastic pots is the fact that you can drop them and they're not just going to crack and break.
Do you know, the worst pots that I've bought are, and I don't know the exact name of them, but it's like you might have bought these. There's like a web that holds them together, and it's like composite.
I know exactly what you mean.
Do you know what I mean? And they just the slightest knock, and you get a big hole in them.
Yeah.
But they're actually made from like a mesh with like a composite that's been obviously put around them. Rubbish. Right,
Rubbish.
They are, honestly. I'll bring a picture and I'll show you. Right, so we've also got the pine cone planters as well. We've got 2 different sizes, either the 13 or the
11.
The 11. So we'll start with the 11.
Just to hold them next to each other so you can see the difference in size. They're not massively different.
No, but they actually look good if you wanted to buy like 2 of one and 2 of the other.
Yeah.
They actually look really good. So the big one is the 13 inches. Again, it's a buy one, get one free. So working out a 5 each. Lovely finish to these. I think they look quite festive because they've got like a gold to them, but obviously look great all year round. 4 drainage holes in there, nice lips, so easy to carry around. And again, so robust as well. And
I got these in my garden because I got them with the hollies, and I put my holly standards into something else. So I've used these now. I'm sure I've got tulips in one, and I've got something else in the other. So as much as they've got a festive feel, which is great right now, they actually work all year round too.
So I'll be honest.
Is it the same price, Stu's saying?
I think today I would go for the 13 inches because they're just slightly better value.
Yeah.
The 11 is the same price, but again, it's a buy one, get one free.
But if you want the little family of them and you want both sizes, because that can be quite nice, they're all buy one, get one free. So for a buy one, get one free, you just put the item you want in your basket and use the code, and another one will be put in there free. So if you want 4, put 2 in your basket because you'll get 2 free ones.
I mean, there's so many things that go lovely in those.
Oh, loads.
Yeah. And don't forget, we have got the big medley planters. These are phenomenal because they're 40 centimetres. Only a few of them remaining. You need to be super quick. You do need to get those in your basket, I would say, right now. Even if you don't know what's going to go in them, buy them today because they are never coming back. So, did you order yours, Bex?
I did. Sorry.
Now, yeah. I'll be honest.
The thing is, I get so excited during the show, and then I'm like, right, I'll do that when I get home.
Yeah.
I'll do that when I get home, and then I get home, and then there's, you know, something that distracts you.
Yeah.
It's a puppy video.
Have placed
You're right,
order this
Stu.
week.
It's a puppy video.
But there's only a few of those remaining, and it is a buy one get one free at $14.99 for all you club members, only £13.49. But I love the design of our planters, and we really have perfected our planters. Always great drainage, and that is important. We get wet climates nowadays in the UK without sufficient drainage. Things get waterlogged. And the biggest killer of plants, indoor and outdoor plants, generally speaking, is plants being waterlogged.
Too much water.
Yeah, roots rot. You know, unless it's a pond plant, there are some plants that love to have constantly wet roots, but not many. No.
Not many at all.
No. So, brilliant value, buy one, get one free. Right.
Oh, we're into the last hour, okay? So we're here until 12:30, and we're heading over to our favourites table. The favourites table is made up of your favourites. So we start off on a Thursday, picking what we think is going to be your favourite, and then we adjust it on a Sunday based on what you have been buying. And so actually, these have been the most popular.
I'm not surprised when I look at this lineup.
Yeah. That's the selection.
These are all massive winners at great prices today. I'm going to start off with the Sarcococca, the Winter Gem, or winner as Sweet Box, Christmas Box, because the scent of the flowers, and this is about to flower right now, is extraordinary.
Yeah, there's loads of buds that you can see. I mean, it's straight up at the top there, you can see the buds in that sort of near that leaf axis there. And honestly, there's loads of buds all the way up the stems, and that's what we really like about this particular plant, is the fact that it will flower along. Yeah, you can just see them in there. Now, I know each flower is quite small, but the fact that you get loads of them, and you can see all those buds going all the way up the stems there, you get loads of them, so it really does then pack a punch, not only from the way that you look at it, but also the nostril feast that you get from this, because the fragrance is sweet and aromatic. It's kind of real vanilla-y sweet smell you get.
And one of the things that I really didn't realise until a few years ago was the fact that it really will do well in shade. I mean, we often struggle with plants that love shade, and maybe you've already got your ferns and you've got your hostas, but this is a shade-loving plant.
Yeah.
So it will tolerate fairly deep shade very, very nicely. Very happy with that. They are slow growing. So that is a really good size for $9.99, normally £20, and you get your free gift as well. But it's a lovely plant, and it is evergreen. The leaves look beautiful all year round.
Yeah, and there's new shoots coming up here as well.
Oh yeah,
you see. There's one there, and there's one there as well.
By the way, they do sometimes sell seed as well. So you will sometimes get little babies around them. I know this because a friend gave me some little babies of a Sarcococca, but 3 years on, they're still really small.
Yeah, and they take a little while, but that's actually, of benefit to us in most of our gardens. If you're looking for something that's going to fill an area really quickly, then no, Sarcococca is not for you, but you can definitely find space for it, and I recommend it because the fragrance you get from that in winter time, it's incredible. Honestly.
And actually,
that's mine, by the way, that you're looking at right now.
Is yours at the back door then, Bex?
It was. I've actually taken it from there and I've put it into a border, and I actually need to move it from the border because I've got it planted. It's going to be fine over winter, but in the summertime, the geranium Roseanne is really starting to take over, so I need to move it again.
Right, something brand new for you right now, and it is the Albelia, which is called Kaleidoscope. And we've had quite a few questions. Norfolk Kiko, if you're still watching, you said, looking for some really exciting evergreens. We do class this as evergreen, but it's semi-evergreen, so it depends where you live.
Yeah.
But in most areas, it would keep its leaves. But the foliage is called Kaleidoscope because you have never seen so many colours, like oranges and yellows. And
that's in our potting shed right now. That shot that you're looking at, that is the plant that's in the potting shed, and that is the kind of colour combination that you could have at this time of year.
I mean, that is amazing, isn't it?
It is amazing. Love the colours on there. In the spring and summertime, you get sort of really bright green, sort of almost yellow tinges to the leaves.
Yeah, there you go.
It kind of intensifies through the summer months as well. So you get these lovely colours going on. Autumn, you're getting these kind of colours, the oranges, the umbers, the reds, but you're also going to get flowers on here as well. So you will get lovely white blooms on there. They burst from pink buds as well. And they're actually really scented too.
So every show we
Look
do,
at it, so much.
I'm always planning my garden, aren't you? I like that. I think that, again, if you're just looking for something that looks good all year round, that has the most amazing coloured leaves, and they benefit the flowers, then the Abelia is one to go for. So geraniums next, and I know I said it earlier, but I love hardy geraniums. I think we both do. They are such hard workers, and now I've got a big garden. I just need certain areas that look after themselves. I can't have everything being fiddly
Totally.
and high maintenance. So, geraniums, fully winter hardy, any soil type, sun, part shade, they are not fussy, they don't need constant nurturing,
nope.
And they will flower May all the way through to, we normally say October, but mine were flowering until the bad weather a couple of days
Just
ago.
till last week.
Yeah.
Mine will go, earlier on this week when the massive frost came, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's when mine was looking so good for, and it was kind of the last remaining thing that was looking amazing in the garden. You know, the dahlias had just gone, yeah, there was nothing else. Genuinely, nothing else that was
My
looking...
still look good.
Does it?
Yeah, it did.
It did.
Yeah.
Well, I know. Mine is mixed with the Erigeron, and of course the wallflower, Bowls Mauve.
Oh, you've still got Bell's Mauve.
Bell's Mauve's
That's
still
still
going.
flowering.
Yeah,
Why do I look surprised, Bex?
Of course it is. Those are the only things that were still looking amazing just up until that frost the other day. So I highly, highly recommend any hardy geranium. The Tiny Monster has the amazing purple flowers on there, which is what we really like about this variety.
Now, they will die down in the winter, so again, don't panic when you get these. They will die down, but in springtime you get all the new growth, and they will just flower their socks off all
and
summer long.
they keep going for years as well. They're quite a long-lived perennial, and pollinators adore them.
They are just fantastic. Right, so Grimmy's gone for your Blue Hobbit.
I love it. Well done, Grimmy.
I think I'm going to go for this.
You should, honestly. It's one of the best things in my garden. I love it. And that's it. It's quite a young plant now. I think that video was last year I did that. So it has filled out a little bit this year. But over the years, it will spread a little bit. So we're talking maybe 50 by 50 centimetres. The Blue Hobbit is the shorter, smaller, more compact variety of the Eryngium. So you can get one that gets really, really tall. I like it because I've got a normal garden, whatever that means. I've got a standard family garden. I didn't want one that was going to take over and get too tall. This one stays nice and compact, so it plays perfectly in the borders that I've got.
And again, great for coastal gardens. It's often called sea holly. It would be great in my garden because my garden's quite exposed. It is from the thistle family, and I think you'd see that.
Yeah.
But so attractive, isn't it?
And of course, was it Grimmy that asked earlier, will it lick your seed heads and is it good for birds and stuff? Yeah, absolutely. I don't do anything to mine. Genuinely, I don't do anything to it. I don't specifically feed it. I don't specifically water it. I don't prune it. I don't trim it, but it comes out that electric blue.
Yeah.
Starts off green, and you can see that in the potting shed here, but the bright blue colour is really intense.
There's very few plants in the garden that have that blue.
Yeah, very
few.
Contrast, colour.
Oh, it's lovely.
Interest.
Now, I placed a big order this week. I went a little bit crazy. And I bought 15 of the Helleborus.
Amazing.
They're coming up next. And I just cannot wait to plant them up for Christmas. So those are the Blue Hobbit there, the Eryngium. And then we have got our stunning Hellebores. And I bought a few of these last year, and they were so good. I've just gone a bit crazy this year. Because, first of all, compared to other Hellebores, these just produce so many more flowers. In fact, if I show you here, the amount of buds, because I went to the supermarket this week, saw their Hellebores, and honestly, 1 or 2 buds on them. Look at this. I can count. In fact, I'll count for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. About 20 buds on there. 20 buds. Every one of those buds will produce flowers as beautiful as this. And I love the fact that they come out and they're white and they're pure. And then as they age, look at this as I bring it round. I mean, some of us age really badly, don't we? Let's be honest, you know? I know I've aged badly, Bex, I know. But these don't, do they? Look.
Yeah, they're amazing. So this variety is specifically bred for longer flowering season, but also more upright flowers. Typically, hellebores tend to nod, don't they? They sort of point downwards a little bit.
And they're still beautiful.
They've got a real sort of quality to them. But if you want to see the beauty of the flower, you have to lay down on the ground to be able to see it. We usually don't have to with this one because it stays more upright.
Now, what I did last year, I actually had them indoors over Christmas. Christmas. Now, they want to be outdoors, of course.
Yeah, they don't. They won't take it for long,
no,
will they?
It's not a house plant, but over Christmas for a few weeks inside.
In a cooler room, if you can.
Yeah, not next to a radiator. They will do absolutely fine. Mine did. I just made some really nice Christmas displays. And then once Christmas is over, I just planted them outside in the garden. And they love the shade. Again, hellebores will do great under trees, shady areas. Very easy to grow. And they do flower all the way through the winter months. Beautiful, beautiful. Now, we've just been asked a question. Do we know the price of the mini orchard this week?
I cannot remember it.
I've just seen it. That was a genuine reaction. I mean, I could have acted that.
I did look at it when the sheet came through, but I'd completely forgotten.
Do you know what the best?
Wow.
When we do the mini orchard, and you've got the Braeburn apple, you've got the Conference pear, and the Victoria plum. So they're the three nations' favourites when it comes to apples,
varieties.
pears, and plums. When we do it for a tenner a bare root, I think that's always good, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. I'd be happy with that, particularly because it's 50, 60, 70 years worth of fruits you're talking about. They'll last for decades, so the price is key here.
Now, you sometimes hear us mention the head gardener here at YouGarden. That is Peter McDermott. We all stand to attention when Peter's here. No, we don't, because Peter's actually really chilled and laid back. But he's an amazing gardener, and here he is to tell you about this outstanding mini orchard collection.
Plant a tree and improve the environment is the big message here. But these are fabulous because not only are you planting 3 trees in this case, but they're productive trees. So if you're going to plant a tree, is a great thing to do. Great for the environment, great for the world. Plant a fruit tree, great for your pocket, great for your health, because you're now going to save money. These will produce tens and tens of pounds of fruit in weight every year from the 3rd year onwards.
Wow.
A mature apple Braeburn could produce between 40 and 50 pounds of fruit in weight per season once it's fully mature. A Victoria plum, that picture of the Victoria plum you can see there.
Yeah.
I was actually, I don't think I took the picture, but I was there the day the pictures and the videos were taken. That was just in Cambridge, just north of Cambridge, in a little village called Cottenham. And they were astonishing, but you see the branches that are almost like cascading down there. That's the weight of the fruit doing that to them. And you, again, can pick 30, 40 or even 50 pounds of fruit from a mature Victoria plum. And then Conference pear, which is the 3rd of these, you've got Braeburn apple, you've got Conference pear, then you've got the beautiful, beautiful plum, but you've got all 3 of those included. But the pear is divine. That was a friend's hand, but in my garden. So that is a tree in my garden. God. Massively productive, and they'll live for 40, 50, even 60 years. This is a commercial grade fruit tree that's on a dwarfing rootstock. So you could grow this in a smaller garden. This is going to get to a couple of metres tall. You can prune it really easily. And the rule of thumb with pruning fruit trees is you summer prune for fruit. Who'd have thought you summer prune fruit trees? The professionals do. Summer prune for fruit, winter prune for growth. So if you want your tree to stop growing vigorously, and it's a fruit tree, prune it in the summer. If you want it to grow and grow in size and stature, winter pruning is the answer. So it couldn't be easier, but that's the rule of thumb. And this is Braeburn apple. So this will live for the next 50 or so years. Plant it in a sunny position. Plant it somewhere where there's plenty of airflow. The rule of thumb I always say is if you stand like this, go over there. Go on,
like
put
this,
your arm out like
yeah.
that. Okay, so I'm one tree. That's the closest the next tree needs to be. So I always think about 2 metres in a garden setting, and that allows plenty of light, plenty of airflow, plenty of sunshine. And you could plant these in a row, in a sunny position, all 3 of them together, about 6 foot or 2 metres apart. You could live basically in a block of flats.
Yeah, you could, couldn't you?
You could have an external balcony area, and you can still grow your own apples, pears and plums, because the space you need is this. Yeah. And actually, at this time of year, you can put them right together, because they're dormant at this time of year. There are no leaves. It's only really from about March onwards, when they're coming into leaf and they're blossoming, you just need to give them a little bit more space to get around them and allow the pollinators in. But they are all self-fertile. So all 3 of these varieties will... Brilliant. So Braeburn will pollinate itself. Victoria will pollinate itself. conference will pollinate itself. So you don't need to worry about, do I need a second apple? No, you don't. Do you need a second pear? No, you don't. Do you need a second plum? No, you don't. It's all fine. So they're compact, they're professional quality, they're grower quality, they're self-fertile. Great for pots, great for the garden.
And what's the maximum kind of height these going to grow, Peter?
Well, interestingly, if you grow them in pots, that slightly topiarizes them, slightly dwarfs them, if you like, so it will stop the growth. But left unchecked, they would eventually get to 2 metres, maybe 3 metres eventually. But
that's not huge, though,
not
is it?
really.
No.
But the way to stop that is just take out the leader. So this is the leader. This is known as the leader, this central stem, because what plants know up from down. They know what gravity is. Strange to think that, but they really do. So they have this thing called apical dominance. And apical dominance says there will always be one branch in any tree that is the leader. It's pointing to the sun, pointing to the sky, and opposing gravity. If you just get a pair of secateurs and at 45 degrees just take out the central leader, and then one of these other branches will eventually take over, and in 2 years do it again. And what happens when you take the leader out is you get all of this lovely feathering, all of these lovely side branches, and it's the side branches that give you the biggest crops of fruit.
Right, honestly, saving £40 on that today, that is the best price we have seen in such a long time. That is ridiculous. I'm not even it works out $6.66 a bare root.
I know.
And these are named varieties.
Named varieties, and you will have them for decades.
Yeah.
Honestly, they're such long-lived. And once they get established, prolific in the amount of fruit you'll get. So I think that price is incredible.
And it's not like you go to the supermarket and sometimes you see a bare root and...
Oh, and it's just a whip.
Yeah, and it's a weird variety you've never heard of. Most popular apple, pear and plum in the UK. So go for those two. That is an amazing price. Sometimes you do get really good deals out of season. Say out of season, it's a brilliant time to plant a bare root right now. In fact, Bex has done a little video as well, haven't you?
It's on Facebook and it's on Instagram. Yeah. So if you do want to have a little look, then go and have a little look, because it's so easy to plant.
Yeah. I'm just thinking, if you want some pots for the mini orchard, we're going to give you two options. They would be happy in the Melody for a while, but actually I'd still put them in the heavy duties.
I would go for the heavy duties because I would want to make sure that you've got the
very, very elegantly done there, Bex.
I would want to make sure that you're getting the correct drainage, and that's why you would go for these, because you get those extra drainage holes at the bottom. Similar capacity. It just means that your plants, when we get those deluges of rain, they're not going to be sitting. Is that the price?
Right, do you know what I've just thought?
£12.99.
So we're doing the triple pack. So you could go for the 3 bare roots for £20. 3 of these, £13. That's £33 for the pots and the fruit trees. And if you went for the compost, because you're going to need around about 90 litres of compost, you can have 3 fruit trees, 3 of the heavy duty pots. I'm doing the maths here. So hang on, 20, 33 and 25. That make that 58. Club members, you'd get £6 off that. So for just over £50, you can have 3 potted fruit trees. You would pay that in a garden centre at least for, I'd say, £50 for one of those.
And of course, I'm sure Peter talks about it in that clip of film, but they do stay more compact, so they're not going to take over. You can keep them in smaller spaces.
That is honestly, go for those fruit trees today. That is the best offer Bex and I have seen in a long, long time. So yeah, we worked out. See, Stu just checked my maths there.
£57.94. Who did well there?
Right, wasn't I? Gold star for me. But it's amazing value. And think about how much you're going to save over the next few decades. You're going to have all your own conference pears, Bambi apples, and of course your Victoria plum. Right, soft caress.
Would you do this to a Mahonia?
No!
You absolutely wouldn't, would you? No. If you've never heard of Mahonia before, first of all, regular Mahonia gets really tall. So they got them out the front of my doctor's surgery, actually. Yeah. And they are massive. They're what, 3 metres in height?
I was going to say 2.5, 3 metres. Beautiful in the winter.
Gorgeous. Love them. But they're really prickly. They're the kind of ones that you need the gloves on. If you're going in to do any pruning or collecting anything up, you need big, thick gloves.
I remember I had one in my last house, and even collecting the dead leaves off the ground, right? You know, oh my word, sometimes, even with gloves on, it'd catch me by surprise, and they'd prick right through the gloves.
Absolutely. This is called soft caress. So, first of all, you're not getting all of those prickles. There aren't any. It's been bred in order for you to be able to touch it and not get prickled. Plus, it's more compact.
Yes.
It's only ever going to get to, hopefully, about 1 metre by 1 metre. So somewhere between 3 and 4 feet in height and spread. So doesn't take over, doesn't get massive. Perfect for a pot.
And it does flower slightly earlier than a regular Mahonia.
Very true, yes.
Mahonias are sort of like normally late autumn, winter. This flowers just a little bit earlier in general as well, but still beautiful flowers, great for the pollinators. Will tolerate a slightly shady area as well compared to a regular Mahonia. But I went to a really big talk about breeding of plants, and it was really interesting actually. But the breeders, they look at plants and then say, well, how could we make it better? What would the public want? And so many people love the idea of Mahonia, but they don't have the space. They don't want that huge tree, but also they don't want all the spikiness. Mahonias are pretty lethal things.
Yeah,
they are. I know from having one. You certainly don't want to fall into a Mahonia, but soft caress is exactly that. And also the foliage is slightly different. It's a little bit more kind of fern-like.
More fern-like,
isn't it?
yeah, definitely.
It's really nice.
I love it as an option, definitely. I mean, if you want a security plant, then yeah, go for the big spiky Mahonia.
Yeah.
But if it's the prickles that annoy you with Mahonia, then soft caress is a great option.
And it did win Plant of the Year at Chelsea in 2013.
2013.
Yeah, it did. It was like award winner. So another breeding breakthrough. I think that's such a great option, and that's 509.49. I have got that one in my garden actually, and it is a very, very pretty plant, and only $19.99 today. Now we have got for you our witch hazel next, known as Ruby Glow. Now I haven't got this one, but I'll tell you what. When you look at the flowers,
love them.
Wow!
I think these are so weird.
They're like ribbons, aren't they, on a witch hazel?
Like it. Yeah, you get these lovely ribbons of flowers on here that actually appear on the bare stems. Again, I'm a big fan of anything that flowers on bare stems because it just makes those flowers stand out even more. And this is going to flower for you in winter too. Again, another one that we're bringing you that's going to give you colour in your garden in some of the dullest and dreariest months of the year, when your gardens need it the most. Look at those! Ooh. They look like weird little creatures, don't they? But that's going to happen sort of anywhere starting in around December time into January and February as well. So amazing. And then it's going to get covered in all that gorgeous foliage.
I just think it's
I
fascinating.
know it looks a bit bare at the moment, but you can see the buds. You can see them appearing at the edge here along the stem, and that's where you're going to start getting those flowers coming from. You can see them all, can't you? Look.
And witch hazel, of course, used in lots of medicines and things.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
there's lots of. I wouldn't know where to start in terms of creating them, but
no.
The only witch hazel I've got the Chinese witch hazel, the Loropetalum.
Loropetalum, yeah.
which is related there somewhere, but you do get the similar kind of like ribbons as flowers, and they're amazing. So that's a bit of a different one, isn't it?
Very different.
Yeah.
Great for putting into a border. It'll get nice and big. It can get 3-4 metres in height. It can spread a bit as well, but it's definitely one for giving you that winter colour.
Now, lots of you watching today, we genuinely have got some amazing deals. I mean, Bex and I, we've worked now from the potting shed here for about the last 17, 18 months, but I've worked for YouGarden for about 20 years now, Bex many years as well. So we do know their pricing pretty well, don't we?
Yeah.
And sometimes you get the best deals in the winter. We always give you great value all year round, but right now, slide out of season, you can pick up some fantastic buys. And it's still a really good time to plant.
And do you know what? Even if you don't want to plant,
we don't have to.
You don't have to. They could because if this was staying here at the nursery, we would just be keeping it in its pot. Yeah. So you don't have to plant it out right now, even though, yes, you can still plant things out. The ground is still fine for you to plant them out. You don't have to if you don't want to. You could just keep it in the pot. But you won't get this price next year. No. When the price will go back up in springtime.
The moment that's in flowers...
I think that's John's phone.
Is that my phone?
It's your phone, my lovely. Oh, was it the alarm? Apparently it's fine, we're okay.
I'm going to say, I thought it was up, but what's my...
Don't know if you can hear it, but there's a beeping happening, so apologies, ignore that if you can hear it.
What is it? What does it do?
Somebody's come in to close some vents on one of the greenhouses because they're worried about them being open in the wind. So they've set the alarm on the way out, which is why it's beeped at us. We're fine.
Well, that was a moment of excitement.
There we go. Always something interesting.
When you said it was my phone, I was like, how can my phone be making that weird noise? But anyway, so there we go. If you heard something in the background, all is fine.
Hey, we're all fine.
Yeah. So if you want to shop ahead, I know lots of you putting your orders together. Don't forget free postage when you spend over £40. Your free gift today is that stunning selection of endless spring bulbs, including the tulips, that's the Saxatilis, the Muscari Blue Moon, and the Caniculatus narcissi as well. But we've got some amazing deals today. Buy one, get two free for bulbs. In fact, I'll tell you what we have got. We have got loads of perennials in 9cm pots. You get 3 of them for just £9.99. And we're going to start off with the Primula Red Hot Poker. One of my absolute favourites. It's called Red Hot Poker. The sort of flowers look like a Red Hot Poker, but they're nothing to do
Great
with
name.
them. It is, isn't it?
Great name.
But look, I love the height of these.
I mean, it shouldn't be flowering. This is the weird thing about this right now. To be honest, it should not be flowering. This normally flowers in sort of May, June time.
It's a bit early,
but
or a bit late, depending on how you look at it.
But it's really interesting to be able to show you, because obviously you've got the pictures, but in real life, can you see how the flowers open around the base there, and that colour combination with those lilac-y violet colours with that red hot tip to the poker of the flower there. Oh, it looks so cool, doesn't it? And this has the Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit. It's got the badge of Perfect for Pollinators, so not only is it a proven performer and met all of those trials and tests by the RHS, it's also going to bring those pollinators into your garden as well.
When you look at those flowers, they are absolutely fascinating.
I love them.
And so,
They're like little rah-rah skirts, I think.
Ooh.
Like a little rah-rah skirt with the flowers.
I'll take your word for it.
I was desperate to have a rah-rah skirt when I was a kid.
Well,
I want one of those rah-rahs.
Well, it's not too late,
Not too late. I've still got the legs for it. I'll be all right.
Yeah. Did you Stu then? If you say so.
It's true, it's true.
Bex has got the legs for a rah-rah skirt. Yes.
Just not the thighs.
Doesn't a rah-rah cover that bit?
No, they're quite short.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Anyway, we
Moving
digress. It's a lovely plant, very unusual, and you are going to get all 3 of those for £9.99. Now, this nursery used to be a nursery that predominantly sold just heathers, didn't it?
Yeah.
Many years ago.
As we drive in, there's a lovely entrance, isn't there? And there's just heather either side, loads of different varieties.
And I must admit, because it's planted en masse, it's really quite jaw-dropping. I mean, it really is. And we've actually got a heather collection for you right now called 4 Seasons. The reason being, because it looks good every season, doesn't it?
It really does. It is amazing. So if you want some low maintenance, plants in your garden, this is what my mum's done. So front garden, massive front garden, massive back garden, and so she can't look after it all anymore. She's still keen, gets out there, does what she can, but she's replanted pretty much everything in the front garden with various types of heather, and it looks amazing all year round. No maintenance, I'm going to say. I mean, you can prune it back, you can. It'll help to keep it a little bit bushier. But to be perfectly honest, you don't have to. You can leave it to do its own thing.
When you think about heathers grow naturally, they survive it in the most extreme situations.
There's
really,
a beautiful walk. I can't remember. There's a name of a walk we do when we go to the Peak Districts. When I go on the walks there, and it's up, and you go up one of the ridges and onto the peaks there, and it's beautiful, and it's filled with heather. And at that perfect time of year, sort of late summertime, the fragrance that comes off the heather is incredible, and the colour, just sea of purples.
Now, the only thing we will say is they do prefer an acid soil. They really do.
They do, yeah.
So if you can mix in a little bit of ericaceous compost, they would really, really appreciate that. I have got them to grow in our regular compost, but they do prefer an acid environment.
To be perfectly honest, I'm pretty sure it's not acid soil where my mum lives, and there's no way she's going to have added acid soil in, and they're growing beautifully. But we have to tell you what they prefer, and they do prefer an ericaceous compost.
I'll be honest. I've always thought that I've got away with it for a while, and then finally they kind of
slow down, give up. Yeah, maybe.
But they are stunning. They are obviously evergreen. The flowers are incredible. They look great en masse, and you're getting all 3 of those at £9.99. Right, we have got some Grow Your Own right now, known as the Honeyberry, and we've both got this one. I just wish you could actually taste the fruit right now. Because seriously, if you tasted the fruit on here, you would want to buy one straight away. It is from the honeysuckle family. And the fruits are they do look a little like an elongated blueberry, but I think they are more tastier and more fleshy. And actually, they're better for us, aren't they?
Totally, yeah, absolutely. So they're supposed to be higher in antioxidants and vitamins than blueberries are. Dark-skinned fruits, we know that they are the best ones for us, but these are juicy and tasty and delicious. And if you've thought about growing blueberries, but you can't be bothered with the ericaceous compost faff, then honeyberry, I think, is a really good alternative for you, because these do not need special soil at all. They don't need ericaceous soil. They will happily grow in a variety of soil types. All they really want is a nice sunny position. They're self-fertile, so although we're giving you 3 here, you don't need all 3. Having 3, though, means that you're going to get so many berries from these. It'll take a few years for them to fruit, so don't worry about that. You might get a few next year, but it's really in the next, couple of years, that's when you'll start getting prolific berry producing from
this.
And
you do get the lovely delicate blossom in kind of like March, April. It's like lovely, like yellowy, creamy white colour. They'd be covered in those. But honestly, when I first picked a honeyberry a couple of years ago, I was gobsmacked how delicious it was. They are a slightly bigger fruit than your average blueberry. I'll caveat that because I saw some giant blueberries in the supermarket the other day. But
those giant blueberries don't taste as nice, though.
No, they don't.
I think they are flavourless.
You are so right, Bex.
Yes.
Yeah, and for $5.99,
I think it's a novelty.
So, no, I agree. I'll never buy them again.
Yeah.
But these are delicious. They're nutritious. They grow, I would say, relatively quickly. I mean, I've had mine a couple of years now, and they're probably about... Mine started off about... I bought a slightly bigger one, but I would say it's at least more than doubled in size. No, more.
I bought tiny ones. So mine were in 9cm pots. They were a little bit smaller than these. They were only about that tall. And I'll be into year 3 next year. I got a few blueberries this year. Next year I'm expecting to get honeyberries. Yeah. Next year I'm expecting to get loads more.
But once you get into that year 2, year 3, you'll be getting massive crops.
They won't make it inside. I promise you. You'll find them on the plant. You go, ooh.
Mine didn't.
Oh, you just keep eating.
I honestly, because I love wandering around the garden in the morning, and I just would go up to my honeyberries and just eat them straight off.
Breakfast.
And it was delicious, though. And when you grow your own, it tastes so much better, doesn't it?
It does.
And also, I am a little bit more environmentally conscious nowadays, and you go in the supermarket and you just see rows and rows of fruit in plastic containers. That is not good, is it? Then you think about all of the air miles to transport some of that fruit across the UK. So if you can grow your own, makes sense on so many different levels. So I love those. We both love those, and you're getting 3 for $9.99, amazing value. Right.
Okay, one of the amazing deals that we've got for you, we've got lots, but let's talk about the bulbs. With the bulbs, we've got 6 different options for you to choose from, and it is a buy 1, get 2 free. There. That red box. Buy 1, get 2 free. 6 different varieties to choose from. So we've got crocus, we've got daffodils, we've got Chionodoxa, we've got anemones. All you have to do is choose the 3 that you want. It might be 3 of the same, or it might be 3 different, or 2 of the same and 1 different. It's entirely up to you. Just pick the 3 bags you want, put them in your basket, enter the code, 2 bags will be free.
And it's the best deal we have done all year on bulbs. I mean, I bought lots when it was a buy 1, get 1 free. Very happy with that. But the last of the stock we are clearing right now. It's still a great time to plant them. It really is. November, I think October, November, best months to plant bulbs. But we are clearing stock right now. And these are the 2 favourites, the crocus and the tete-a-tete. 2 winners there, aren't they?
Great, actually. And I like the idea of going for both of these, because your crocus will come up first in around February time, and then they're going to be followed by your narcissus, your tete-a-tetes, your dinky daffodils in sort of April time. Amazing varieties for coming back year on year as well. These are really, really good at naturalising in your garden. I mean, daffodils can be around for 100 years in actual fact. There are known ones that have been around for such a long time. Tete-a-tetes, you get multiple flower heads on each stem here. So we're not just talking about 1 flower per stem. They can have 3 and 4 flower heads on there. They're the dinky daffodils. They only get to about 20 centimetres in height, which means you can plant them in so many places.
And do you know, I can't wait to show the pub garden that I look after in March time, round about Mother's Day, because I've planted hundreds of these.
Amazing.
With miniature tulips. And I know, and they always come up, I'm not being funny, but they are so reliable.
So reliable every single year.
And they do naturalise. But the height is perfect. And I think daffodils in pots sometimes can get way too tall, look a bit unbalanced. The tete-a-tetes are just beautiful. And actually, with the crocus, as you said, Bex, just as the crocus are kind of going over, the narcissi will just beginning to bud. So there's a few weeks between them. And what I like about the crocus, they don't leave lots of messy leaves.
Yeah.
So, you know, with some bulbs, you just get too many leaves and it all looks a bit of a mess. But those two together would look magnificent, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I like
really
it.
love those. So it is a buy one, get two free. You need to choose. You need to put 3 in your basket, though. So we won't do it for you. You need to put whatever 3 you like in your basket. But those two are massive winners in our books. They really, really are. And the crocus, 40 of those. These will come out February time. And sometimes there's still frost and snow on the ground. But they always herald the start of spring, don't they? When say you're getting a bit down in February and the winters seem like it's gone on forever, those crocus burst into life and look magnificent. Crocus are great in pots, containers, great under trees as well. They love, you know, being around shrubs and trees. You can put them in lawns as well. They are just a magnificent bulb and they do naturalise. 600-082, and again, part of the buy one, get two free. Right, we've also got the anemones in the offer. You get 75 of these. Anemones, when you open up the packet, they look the weirdest things. They're like, oh, I don't know, they're like little bits of dried coal almost. They really are, but they produce the most magnificent flowers. 600-319 and £9.99. Right, we have also got the Doxa. Now, these are probably the smallest of the flying bulbs. So really, really petite, really delicate looking, only going to go to about 10-15 centimetres. So great in groups. You never want to plant these individually. They always want to be planted en masse together. But again, fantastic. It's a woodland bulb, great in your pots and containers. But if you are going to plant them in beds and borders, have them right at the front because of the size of them. Really pretty, 600-155. And the spherocephalons. Now, these are a type of allium, one of the tallest that we do. So these are going to grow to, I don't know, 70 centimetres or so. Again, they are quite dramatic and want to be planted en masse. You're going to get 100 of them. These are late flying, so these are actually summer flying bulbs, July time. So again, you might be thinking, oh, I'm going to buy some bulbs that are flying spring, some in July at 600-137. Then we have got the final pack of bulbs in the promotion, which are a really unusual variety of tulips. I was reading a bit about the breeding of tulips. Really quite, when a tulip is bred from a seed with cross-pollination, it can take several years to actually produce a bulb and a flower. And these are really, really unusual varieties that we're seeing right now, really striking. They're all miniature, so great for rock garden, great for smaller areas, great for gravelled areas, and obviously fantastic in your pots and containers. 600-433. So remember, put any 3 in your basket and you'll only pay for 1. So you'll get 2 absolutely free. So basically it's £9.99 for 3 packets of fantastic bulbs. Amazing. And you would still get your free gift, which is another 20 bulbs, which are free with every single order today. All you need to do is use your code YGTV4724. But honestly, November is a great time to plant bulbs. Bex and I always say October, November, the best months to plant bulbs. In fact, I would never plant tulips before November because the ground can be too warm. Right, love this one. It's a Mahonia. Now, it's a brand new variety. I say brand new variety. It won the Plant of the Year at Chelsea in 2013. A lot of people still don't know this. So the thing with Mahonia, they're spiky. They can grow huge. They can get very woody, actually, as well. But they are beautiful in terms of a winter flying plant. But this one is soft. So it's been bred not to have the spikes. The foliage is very different from a regular Mahonia. It's like fern-like, but you still get these spikes of yellow flowers that are not spiky. Flowers a little bit earlier than a regular Mahonia, and it's a lot more compact, only getting to about 1 metre by 1 metre, and that is 510949. It's beautiful. I've got that in my garden. It's an absolute stunner. And that is down to £19.99. Now, if you want your garden to look rather sophisticated. I mean, I went to, I've got a friend of mine, Sarah, her garden, some areas, this huge garden, were designed by a famous garden designer. And some of the borders have got rows of standards in them, like standard roses, standard lavender. She's got there, and it looks. I mean, I got garden envy. I was like, why don't my borders have lots of standards? They do look impressive, but these also look great in pots as well.
Yeah.
But what I love is we've got some really unusual ones here. Because I think standard roses we've seen quite a lot of over the last several decades. But have you ever seen a standard rosemary? See, I don't think I've ever seen that in a garden centre.
Yeah, I don't think I have.
I don't think I have.
I don't think I've seen it in anybody's garden either. Lots of, I see rosemary in people's garden, but not standards.
You need to go to Shaun Ryan's garden.
Do I?
Yes, because
he's got one of them, has he?
I've just ordered it this week. Yeah. Again, to be honest, Bex, you inspired me with rosemary, because Bex is a great cook.
I love rosemary.
And Bex was like, oh, but you should use rosemary for this and that.
Definitely. You should have rosemary in your garden, because you use it so much in so many different recipes.
But I just didn't, my other herbs look a bit boring, if I'm honest. So I wanted a herb that looks exciting, that is, going to give me so many benefits.
It's quite vigorous growing as well. So you get a lot from it.
Yeah.
You do actually get a lot from it. Lovely ball of colour up at the top. Beautiful flowers that happen in the spring and summertime. But the fact that it's evergreen makes it an attractive shrub. But of course, it's also productive in the fact that you can cut sprigs off this, use it in your cooking. You can cut great big stems off it, remove some of the leaves, and skewer your meat for cooking on the barbecue. There's so many things you can use this for.
So I've gone for mine. I hope you're going for yours today. Very, very good value.
This is amazing.
Isn't it? Love that. Right, so that's one in the mix and match. So remember, it's a double up deal. Any of these, two are the same or two completely different ones. Excuse me. Then we have got
Viburnum.
So
Eve Price.
I've got such fond memories of you and I in the potting shed last
know.
year. We had these behind us for 3 or 4 months, didn't we?
Such a long time, because they stay flowering for ages. You've got winter flowers on here, but you've got winter fragrance as well, and it is a beautiful fragrance. The clusters of flowers, you have the tight sort of pinky buds on there, open up into those white flowers. Loads of interest happening for months on end, and it's evergreen as well, of course.
Yeah, in fact, all of these 4 standards are
all evergreen, yeah.
So they're going to look good all year round.
All winter hardy.
That is magnificent, isn't it?
Love it.
Right. Again, any two for $49.99. Then Ceanothus.
It's one of my faves. Love Ceanothus.
Actually, it's one of your mum's favourites as well, isn't it?
Yeah, she's got a beautiful Ceanothus bush in her garden. I planted one last year. It's growing really nicely. Ceanothus is the standout plant for end of April and into May time, when it gets covered in these lilac blue sort of blooms, and they're really densely packed, but it covers the plant. You've got the evergreen foliage, and you can barely see the foliage when those flowers come out.
And Ceanothus, again, so easy to grow as long as it's got that nice sunny spots. Very little pruning required actually with any of these. Just a little bit of shaping.
That's all. Just to keep the lollipop, the shape up at the top. That's all it needs. Just a bit of maintenance.
They do come with a cane. Keep that in there for a little while. But what will happen eventually? The stem will thicken up, become really strong, and you won't need that. But just keep it, particularly on a windy day like today.
Yeah,
then,
definitely.
We've also got the classic holly. I say classic. This particular variety has got many advantages.
I love this variety because holly ilex, it's so prickly, isn't it? It's so prickly, and that can be really annoying if you've got kids or. I mean, I hate getting prickled by things, but this particular variety is way less prickly. So
really
look, if you take the edge, and you can see where it's sort of serrated at the edge there, you wouldn't do that with a normal ilex. But look, I can run my finger along there. It is not hurting at all. It's not sticking in my finger. So it's sharp, but it's not hurting me at all. So it's a less prickly variety. You've also got a different colour on the underside to the top, and it's quite pronounced, the difference in colour, which gives interest to it. But of course, it's berry producing as well, and quite prolific in its berry producing.
Because it's a female variety, isn't it?
Female variety.
So any of those, whether you're going for the ilex, the blue-made holly, whether you're going for the viburnum, Eve Price, whether you're going for the stunning Ceanothus or the rosemary, you can go for any two and only pay $39.99, which is, sorry, for one, or $49.99 for two. So it's an extra tenner to get an extra
the second one.
It's amazing. And all easy to grow, all winter hardy.
Right, Stu's saying the pine cone pots, and you could, the biggest ones, yeah, you could, absolutely, and they will live in here happily for, a couple of seasons. However, However, I'm going to recommend you go a bit deeper.
I'm with you.
So,
totally with you.
Yeah, I did have my standards planted in these. I've since repotted them and put them into a deeper pot because, again, on a slightly windy day, if they're in a more shallow pot, they tend to blow over a little bit. So they're great, and yes, they can live in there for a season or two, but that is going to work so much better.
And you've got to imagine that ball is just going to get bigger and fuller.
Yeah, so it'll match better, won't it?
And the great thing is, if you put them in the Melody planters, you've got lots of nice room to underplant that. So you could easily, I mean, hellebores around here would look fantastic,
so
wouldn't they?
good, honestly.
Oh, they would. In fact, I'm just going to show you.
Go and grab one.
Yeah, let's grab a couple bags.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about this the other day in relation to the sarcococca, weren't we? We were saying go for this pot, put a sarcococca in the middle and then put your hellebores around the edge. But absolutely, this is one of the benefits of going for one of the standards because you've got the room to be able to underplant.
I mean, look, you imagine that at Christmas time.
And those will fill out as well, so they'll really fill that base for you.
And all of that is evergreen, so yeah. So that's just that. I think I'm with you, Bex.
Display, isn't it?
I think the melodies
some twinkly
are
lights up around the stem. That's what I do with my hollies. So I've got these lovely little LED battery-powered twinkly lights, and I go round and round the stem, and I put it all through the top there. It looks so pretty at Christmas time.
I'm excited about Christmas.
I love it.
I do, and I love. I just love making the house look really festive using the plants and making up winter displays, and that would be perfect. So if you'd like to go for the medleys, we've only got a few of those remaining. It is a buy one get one free. So we're talking about say £13.49. You will need some compost, of course, so don't forget, as ever, we've got a premium official compost. And actually, when we do a really good free gift, and we do that, but I think I'd say every week.
Most weeks, for sure. I don't think we've done any duds, have we? Not that I can remember.
No. No. We've never given. I'm not being funny, but we've never given a free gift that's not something
relevant.
you'd use.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you get a freebie with something. Well, I don't need that.
Chuck it away.
Those bulbs. Remember, you are going to get a lovely packet of bulbs free with every single order, including the compost today. So actually, when you work out the value, most of your club members, $22.48 for your compost, and you are going to get those free bulbs as well, where you get 20 bulbs, the Blue Moon Muscari, the Caniculatus Narcissi, and the Saxatilis tulips as well. So those are your free gift today with your compost 10125. Right, you've loved our winter gem. Our Christmas box.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. This is one of our favourites as well because, oh my word, the amount of boxes that this is going to tick for you. So, evergreen, first of all.
Tick.
Flowering. Shall I say that again?
I think it was more floundering, Bex.
Winter flowering.
Yes, tick.
Winter fragrance.
Tick.
Any soil type.
Tick, tick.
Sun or shade.
Tick, tick.
Deep shade.
Tick.
Yes. Honestly, this is so good for all of those amazing
reasons. And actually
reasons.
slow growing, which actually can be a big tick because sometimes when things grow too quickly and then you've got to move them or repot them, it can be a little bit of a pain. So yes, several ticks on that one. But for me, yes, the flowers and fragrance are magnificent, but I love the fact that it will grow well in shade.
Yeah.
I really do.
That's one of the real beneficial things here, isn't it? You know, it'll tolerate full sun, but it can cope in those shady positions. Plant it somewhere where you're going to enjoy the fragrance over the winter months, because it's going to bloom in December. It's got buds on it now. It's going to start flowering, and that fragrance will be released. It's a real strong, sweet vanilla fragrance as well. It floats on the air. It's gorgeous.
And it grows really nicely as well. I think it's
really neat habit. No pruning.
It's compact, it's neat. Right, so I have been a bit extravagant this week. Didn't tell the other half. So me and the other half, Jay, right, we have this debate, like, I'm a bit like, more is more at Christmas.
Yes.
And Jay is like, let's just put one or two things and make it look tasteful. And I'm like, so
no, I want it to vomit Christmas, please. My house needs to look like it's vomited Christmas.
Well, I'm sort of in between, Bex. I do like to really decorate the house at Christmas. So I bought 15 hellebores. Because I'm going to do lots of displays. I did it last year. I actually bought 3 last year, just do one display. And I thought, do you know what? I love hellebores at Christmas time, and I have them inside the house at Christmas. They're not going to stay there forever. They're not an indoor plant, so couple of weeks over Christmas, absolutely fine, but then plant them outside because they actually like it kind of cold and shady. But they, to me, rather than a poinsettia, we always talk about poinsettias, but we don't sell poinsettias.
I went into the shop the other day, there's loads of poinsettias there. I was like, I just walked past them like, they're all going to die.
They do, and it's so sad.
They're all going to die.
And they lose the leaves so quickly. So I opt for hellebores now. I think look, make a beautiful, beautiful Christmas display. But for in the garden, this particular variety, look at this. We keep saying it, but it's so true. These produce so many flowers. They've been bred to continuously flower all winter long. Look at those buds there.
So many buds. Upright flowers as well. Hellebores tend to nod, remember. You know, they do tend to point downwards, which is elegant in a way, isn't it? But these have been bred to be upright, which means you can see the flowers. You don't have to lay on the ground in the winter to be able to see them.
And I love the way that these age. So when they first come out, they're going to be that crisp white. But as they age, they stay beautiful. So these, you can see this is forming the seed pods in the centre there. But that is still a lovely flower.
Yeah.
It's got greens now, it's got interest. This one has got a little bit of kind of, the ever so slightly, sort of like look of a pink tone to that green there as well. So they really, you get beauty for so many years to come. And they are big, by the way. A lot of the ones that I saw in the supermarket this week were in 9cm pots, and they look pretty pathetic, to be honest. These are in 12cm pots, and you are saving £13 today. 560054. I've bought 15 of them. Is anyone buying more than 15? Let me know. I hope that's not watching.
5 lots of 3, by the way.
Oh yeah, I didn't buy 15 threes. I'm not that extravagant and Christmas mad. But I love them. They're such a good breed and variety. Right, what are your favourites next?
Yeah, I love it. The Blue Hobbit. I mean, look at it. It's so cute. So you can see the lovely sort of thistly type things coming up on the. I mean, it's gonna die down.
It shouldn't be doing that now.
It shouldn't be doing it now, but it's going to die down. But that is so cute, the way that comes up. Now it's going to turn that colour. And I know that feels unbelievable, but genuinely it turns that bright electric blue colour.
I mean,
it's
they almost
incredible.
look sprayed, don't they?
They do. They don't look real. I think you can dry these as well. You can cut them and you can dry them.
I've bought them as a very popular cut flower with florists, actually.
Yeah.
And what happens is when they dry, they stay looking magnificent. The colour does fade a bit, but yeah, I had mine. I'll be honest, I had mine for quite a few months, and the only reason I got rid of them is that the cat kept destroying them. I don't know why, but Teddy the cat seem to love them. I don't know why.
These stay a little bit more compact, okay, because there's a few different varieties over in GM, but this one's the Blue Hobbit, so it stays smaller. It's been bred to be more compact. Great for most gardens, but particularly smaller gardens. About 50 centimetres, 50, 60 centimetres, but height and spread as well. So it'll start off quite slim and slender, and you'll get a few flower spikes from it, but over the years it'll spread, and it'll spread to about 50 centimetres. You get loads of them, and it's the contrast, not just from that bright blue colour, but from the spiky nature of it. I adore it. It's
listen,
one of my favourites.
I want some, definitely.
Yeah, it's good.
Definitely got
It's a good one. Grimmy's got it. Thank you, Grimmy. Thanks for your order.
Yeah, and Grimmy, let us see what those look like next year.
Yeah, please.
Oh, Grimmy's bought the mini orchard
for his son. Very good.
Grimmy, that is such a good deal today. You'll know because you're a regular. £20 for the the Braeburn apple, the Conference Pear, and the Queen Victoria plum there. So if you want anyone wants a mini orchard, it's got 40 quid off it today, which is amazing value. It really is. That's the best. That is the best we've seen in a long time, isn't it?
Genuinely, yeah. I mean, we've done some brilliant deals, but that is the lowest price, which is why it's great. First of all, shopping on YGTV, but also shopping at this time of year.
Do you know what? Club members, and there's 45,000 of you, £6 a tree. Yeah. Come on. And these are not like little whips. These are multi-branched. Bex has done a great video on Instagram and on TikTok, and this on our Facebook as well, on our website, of how to plant a bare root if you're not sure. But it's dead easy.
So simple.
We always say if you can plant a bulb, you can plant a bare root.
Exactly.
Right, what else we got, Bex?
Geranium Tiny Monster. Aha! Oh, skip over. Sorry. Abelia.
Sorry, my little tiny monster.
We'll come back to that later. Apologies. We're going to the Abelia. This is the kaleidoscope, which has been named so perfectly, and this is purely to do with the foliage. I mean, there's flowers and there's fragrance from this as well, but let's just deal with the foliage. Right now, the colours on there are amazing. Oranges, reds, almost pinks,
Stunning.
greens, yellow tones, like variegation on there as well. It's such a beautiful kaleidoscope of colour. But it's even brighter and green and yellow in spring and summer, and then you get these kinds of colours in autumn and winter. It is evergreen, but we class it as semi-evergreen, so it really depends where you are as to whether it's really going to hold on to those leaves. If you plant it somewhere slightly sheltered, obviously you've got more chance of holding onto it. And those are the flowers that you're going to get in summertime.
And you've got to bear in mind, we have just picked this off the nursery this week. So this is currently outside on the nursery, and that's what it looks like in late November. So it's one of the new ones. We've not had that before on YouGarden. We've got it this week, and it is known as the Obelia grandiflora kaleidoscope. Absolutely amazing value, because it's big. I mean, it arrives in a 2-litre pot, only £7.99. That's definitely, I've got a big list again this week. Already placed one order, but I've got a list for my second order as well. Now, don't forget, just a few quick reminders. You do need to use the offer code, which is YGTV4724. That unlocks all of the promotion. So if you just go on our website, quite often a lot of these plants will be more expensive, but when you watch the live show and put in that offer code, YGTV4724, it unlocks every single promotion. And just very quickly, if you're not a club member, join today. It's £5 a year on auto renewal. You can cancel at the end of the 12 months should you wish, but that gives you a 10% discount on everything every single time you shop. When I say everything, that's all your plants, all your accessories, things like pots and compost, and you will get £20 worth of vouchers as well. So you get a little message how you can save money as you check out. Join the club today, and you can save money on your first order. Right, we've got a final email, Bex.
Yes, we've also got a message from Rita on YouTube, and
Hello,
this is
Rita.
lovely. Thank you so much for this. She says, just received my pansies. Thank you. Well packaged. You posted Friday, and I received this morning. Such good service. So that's really nice to hear. Thank you, Rita. Love that. It's really nice to hear from you as well, because we don't see your name very often in the chat, so I appreciate it.
All of our packaging, by the way, is 100% recyclable as well, but things do arrive in great condition. And if ever something doesn't, as we've mentioned, occasionally if something's not quite right, just let our customer service team know, and they'll do their utmost to make it right for you. They really will.
I've got 2 emails, but they're both from June. So today, 24th of the 11th, she says, my viburnum today, Perthshire, Scotland, bought from YouGarden about a year ago, planted in your compost in a heavy-duty pot. It loves it, given the size it has grown to in such a short time. Super happy with YouGarden plants and compost. She says, ignore the pot hiding underneath. It's one of my spring bulb pods getting a wee bit of shelter.
Oh, let's have a look.
But let's have a look. There's a few pictures here, but yeah, that is looking incredible, isn't it? That's exactly what we mean when we're talking to you about viburnum. That looks like the shrub rather than the standard, but you're going to get similar look and colour and fragrance, aren't you?
That looks amazing. That's
looks
in Scotland
really healthy.
today on the
Perthshire,
24th.
Scotland, she says.
Wow. Love
Got
the
a couple
cat's
of
tail
other
there in the
pictures for
corner.
her as well.
Very nice.
Yeah, there's a slightly bit better view there. Just see.
And that was purchased last year.
Yeah.
That has done amazing, hasn't it?
Looking so good.
Wow.
Thank you. And then she sent us a picture of her agapanthus. She's the one that was talking about the OMG agapanthus earlier on.
Yeah, the one that was thinking,
So she says, my agapanthus, check the bottom of the pot, thick root escaping, looking forward to seeing it flower next year, as I've not had any success with agapanthus to date. Me too. Next year, June, it's yours and my year. Absolutely. Oh, look, there it is. Yes.
Awesome.
And I know, look, you can see the roots poking out the bottom there. Don't worry too much, June. Honestly, they don't mind being a little bit crowded in there. So you'll be absolutely fine, honestly. Yeah. It's great.
I mean, having said that, if you did want to repot it right now, you could.
You definitely could.
But as we said earlier, only go slightly bigger. Right, we're out of time. We are back on Thursday.
Yes.
From 10 till 1. If you want to join Bex and I and Stu, we are going to be doing a TikTok live this afternoon from 1:30 till 3:30. So just download the TikTok app, type in YouGarden, and you'll find us live and lively.
And if you just joined us right now and you're thinking, hang on a minute, you're saying goodbye, you can rewind it. There's been 3 hours worth. Yeah. We've done loads of amazing deals, so just rewind and have a little watch.
Yeah, and we were really good at the beginning, weren't we, Bex?
Yeah, we were amazing at the beginning. Nailed it, we did.
Really joking. It's been a lovely show. Keep ordering after we've finished, and always use that offer code. For myself, Shaun, and the lovely Bex Edwards, and Stu over there.
Bye-bye.
We'll see you
soon.
on Thursday at 10 o'clock on this afternoon on TikTok.